isso?
Existe um mundo pra você. Jaga, os dois vão incomodando. Vai dropando o jogador.
A noite acabou com o sonho do fluxo.
Pau tirasse tudo, nunca se direita.
Fora da C pra te vir no presente. Já que como você é CPT, não sabe nada, não sabe de rotação, não sabe nada.
Olha!
Isso aqui, só pra primeira edição do
A primeira edição do DVD AVG.
Nunca se direita. Olha pro Miguel lá, vai.
Nem sabia disso, velho.
Eu não sabia de forças especiais. Ficado muito puto, mano.
Aqui eu já rebolei pros cria, já botei a roupa e pronto.
Agora deu merda.
Ai, Maria! Beleza, mito? Torcedor do fluxo, faz barulho!
Será que a gente é tão zicado assim, mas foi só falar tá bem?
Vai deitar o cu.
Meu Deus! Sabia! Como ele fez isso?
Torcedor da nós, e quando não é parceiro.
Too bad, right? They took one of the slots. WH and Devil's Divine have been phenomenal. Like, especially Evil's Divine, right? They bounced back very, very hard. But WAG, they've been keeping tabs on the situation too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Evo's Divine, though, they managed to get the record for this season of grabbing 4 booyahs in a day, and that is why they really moved up. But for WAG, it's quite phenomenal, really, what they did so far all throughout the past 2 weeks, and I guess there will be more. But they are in a safe spot right now on 5th currently, but there's a lot more that they can do, because out of this grouping, we have group in A and C right now, so they can push a little bit further. But who's above them that they need to overtake? First is Evo's Divine. Let's take away Buram United. Evo's Divine, and then Team Falcons if they want to get to that 3rd place after RRQ, who is in Group B.
Yeah, like WAG, they played 4 days. They only had one underwhelming day, but the rest were great. All of this culminating to a astounding prize pool. If you win the whole thing, the Battle Royale, you walk away with $100,000. Of course, everyone gets a piece of the pie. Really comes down to how big of a piece you get.
And the first phase of the knockout stage, we still have a few more weeks, 3 more weeks after this to get in before the grand finals. And we also have 2 days of Clash Squad within week 5 as well as week 6 before we head into 13 and 14 of June for both grand finals. And tournament format, as we keep mentioning, there's phase 1, so it is happening from the 25th up until 11th of this month, and then it starts off on the 16th to the 1st of June for phase 2. And I love how we're talking about and keep talking about how the phase 2 format really changes the game. I love to see them play, because at some point a lot of reshuffling will be done out of these 2
Como é
teams.
que
Absolutely.
vocês estão? Ai, papai. Caralho, olha essa régua insana. Caralho, que cara lindo, gostoso, bonito, tesão. Oi. E aí, pro Iago, Gustavo Miranda, Marcola, Cardoso, Débora, Evelyn, tropa do AVG King já tá presente, não tem jeito. Valeu, Thalisson. Tropa tá naqueles pique. Vamos pra mais um dia.
And the reason why it hasn't changed is because it is working. And if it's working, why fix it? I mean, why change that? So I guess that is one thing that really has been consistent all throughout, and it has been working for them. Another
PGG já tá ligado.
are just coming in to broadcast.
Quem quiser dar aquela velha inaugurada já tomou um.
We had the unique active skill activated, so none of those spams of Tatsuyas or A124 or Koda So all you have to do is pick one for each player for active skill, but for the passive, it can be duplicated.
Yeah, and overall, it's just a very good way for these players and teams to express their identities. We've seen so much of it, right? We've seen people experimenting with Oscar, for example, or no Tatsuya composition. But we also have to talk about champion rush format. All you guys need to know is every team will try to reach 80 points as fast as they can to activate champion rush. Next game, a team that reaches 80 points, if they get Booyah from any point onwards, they will instantly win the championship. But if they don't, we will keep repeating the process until we either reach a maximum of 10 games where the team with the highest mark wins, or a team that's allowed to gets the Booyah.
Oh, we have a LBS challenge right now. So I guess this is another thing compared to the challenge that we've seen for the past few weeks. And there's different challenge in every match day. So I guess this is a summary of what has been happening for the past few weeks. And it would depend on whether it's a battle point, a special challenge, or elimination race. And so far, we've seen a few losers really take up the challenge, but we have seen and heard some that really are wanting to fight back, wanting to get back on the winning team.
We've seen some teams, you know,
Você tá levando resenha sério, pai. Fora que se eu ganho, você ia sumir. Como que eu ia pegar 100 reais com você? Caralho. Valeu, Pavão Júnior. O que você acha que eu faço pra Luz Mobile dar uma melhorada? Pô, os caras tem que ser mais constantes, né, mano? Os caras estão oscilando muito, ainda quebra algumas situações. A gente tem que definir isso aí. Quem terminou em primeiro ontem? Fluxo, pai. Muito difícil o Fluxo perder. A primeira colocação. E do calor, pô, do kill. Se eu ganho, você ia vir aqui, a VG toma aí seus 100. Pô, dia 9/5. E na sexta-feira você quer meter essa pra ser um da VG. E o Cruz joga hoje, será?
New introduction or debut into
Boa
Southeast
pergunta.
Asia Free Fire World Series, but after that, after they made a study and homework, they went off and really topped that day. So let's see if this is a chance that they can reach. Because above them, currently on 12th spot, is GOW, and they need 26
Fala, Matheus do Povo, é nóis.
Be able to take them out of that spot.
Tropa da Flecha, tropa da... Quem não sabe esse time da Flecha aí é o antigo time da rua.
Rocky journey, right? They have the lowest of lows, 33 points being the lowest, almost the lowest overall. Only, you know, in contention is Toda with their lowest 22 points throughout the group stage. But they also had very high highs, 82 points in a single
Tropa, vamos deixar o like aí. Compartilhar a live. PGG tá on. Lembrando, campanha ajuda a VG. Perdi 1000 pro Peu. E preciso de que vocês me ajudem na recuperação. Então, já tá aberto o PGG aí. Já manda aquele PGG, toma aí a VG. Caixinha de Natal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from the first week, or from the introduction of the second week for Team Vamos, the scores just went up 2% from in the daily, averaging 56, 59 per day, and then hit the 70 mark in each day, and that is just quite an improvement. Hopefully they will need a motivation for Malaysian teams to be able to do the same. As you mentioned, expand Todak. There's a lot that's needed from them, and again, we're talking about the last 3 days for phase 1, and hopefully they can get all those points, leaving some of the teams behind, so it will be much easier for them in the upcoming weeks to be able to get to the finals.
Yeah, last 3 days of phase 1, but only 2
Minha mãe mandou comprovante, 7,50 não é.
They hold their face in their hands for sure. I know the expand coach. He has he DM'd me on Instagram and he was telling me that you know expand there's the sleeping giants. You know they're gonna be awakened in the last week. So we'll see if they can do just that. We also have the tornado challenge. And first of all, we gotta see which region will have the highest score. And I mean, why are we doing this again? Like,
Salve, rapaziada.
It's a contest.
Well, this is a daily challenge that we have so far, but again, tornado challenge. It's probably a region that would sweep the rest of the regions across the map, each map. But when we look at the balance of the teams out there in the group, like there's only 2 in there coming from Thailand, 4 if I'm not mistaken from Indonesia, and 4 from Vietnam, and 2 coming from Malaysia. So the balance would be quite
Eliasmodo mandou R$5. Sala manda um ABG pela cara e a felicidade dessa de ser iniciar a live pela manhã. Aí no mínimo tava podendo a noite toda de costa.
We can. This is actually the best chance for every single one to take down the.
Último dia aí, meu bruxo.
There is a bit of a handicap, some might say, there's BRU, and then there's Core Memory Esports, who aren't really doing too well, sitting in 15th spot, 187 points. Good of us way to balance out the skills, but still BRU. They're pretty scary in nature, and today we gotta look at the game schedule, right? As all of you regular viewers know, that we shuffle around the maps every single day, but today you can start with Bermuda, then we go to Alpine, Kalahari, Nextera, Purgatory, before we spin the wheel for the random map.
And for the random map so far, in terms of record, 3 Alpines has happened already, 2 Bermudas, and 1 Kalahari. So chances are, if it's Alpine, there's a huge chance that Bermuda United will be able to dominate that. But not only that, apart from WAG really is doing quite well in Alpine. Before we had go ahead of ourselves, Bermuda rather. Evo's Divine topped it with
Nago, você é velho de guerra. Você não entendeu a mensagem ontem que eu te mandei?
Não, mano.
Você não entendeu, né?
Deixa eu ver, vou até lembrar.
Yeah, music to my ears, having Team Vamos on the board. You know, as a representative, again, they woke up in the 3rd and 4th day. Today, if they can continue that momentum,
pô, era quase meia-noite,
era
pra quem esse da U, então?
Pô, tava do meu lado, Renago. Falando que queria ir.
Mano,
aí eu meti a cena de que eu tava vendo, entendeu? Aí, qual que é a visão agora? Mais tarde, você me mandar um áudio falando, pô, não tem como, tentei ver aqui, pá, tinha que ter visto com mais antecedência, entendeu? Sabe a visão?
Mano,
qual cabeça? Onde que você tá com a cabeça que eu ia fazer uma atrocidade dessa?
Mano, era 11h40 da noite. 11h40 da noite, pós-camp, 10 quedas. Mano, era só tu ter mandado a figurinha do Neymar, mano.
Não, você mandou a figurinha do Neymar ali.
Não, mas fala assim, putz, cliquei errado. E aí eu já entendi. Eu falei, que isso, eu indo dormir. Cansado pra caralho, meia-noite, o AVG metendo uma dessa.
Not so much of a hot drop. Apart from those very near to each other, we're in Vamos on Mars Electric as well as WAG in Pochinok. But from the middle, it's Joel who might have gotten lost. Their team has dropped into Cape Town, but they're slowly peeking into peak with where Bermuda United is.
See if that's gonna end up being a punish, at least for Evo's Divine side. They are overlapping. Are they? Oh wait, they're not overlapping. It's just them. So north side of plantation, very safe drop. Got everything around, and there is actually Team Flash. I was wondering why there's a shade of orange. So indeed, there is a hot drop happening, and Team Flash, they want to pull the pick. The first Evos instantly responds in kind 2v1. Aim God somehow makes it out. Buys a bit of time, maybe CD still takes him down, and Evo's Divine makes the call to disengage.
That's the thing, though. I mean, Aim God needed 3 to beat him and take him out, and then the rest of the teams will just spread away. I mean, Shipyard, very, very near. Razia has been taken down. I guess it doesn't have a sniper just yet, but Coachil might have been the saving grace for this team. But no, who follows? Team Flash, and then he gets back to where they were, or somewhere close to where they were, into that riverside, and it's a getaway for him. The only question is, where is Ray?
Yeah, that would be, and I think they split out, right? They split up to increase the chance of survival. Vamos and WAG, both teams who are on the rise, duking it out. Of course, WAG having numbers advantage. Vamos left with just 2 with Gade and June, both critically injured. And Alan has just the right weapon to wipe the floor with team of Vamos, getting themselves 4 points at the start of the game.
Oh yeah, 4 points, but no complete wipe just yet. They have might be having one more player for the team Vamos, but we're gonna find out where he is. And I guess they might have spotted another team as well. And there you have it on the feed as well. We've seen a revival on June, so Vamos still alive though. Those cheering for the Malaysian team, don't worry.
Still in it to win it. There's still a chance, you know, for Vamos to turn it around.
Procedimento padrão, chat. Buia do Vietnã em algum momento do dia. O Domingão não teve a VG.
Não teve.
Nenhum buia.
And they have been sort of on the
buia
in the middle of the pack, right? Like this team has always been around. They've always been the one that makes a difference in the standings, at least.
Live gravada. Fala de novo pra tu ver se não toma ban permanente, pai. Tamo ao vivo.
Break through, you know, deep into the top pool.
A live é gravada,
só
que teu ban vai ser ao vivo, pai. Experimenta.
12th spot. But battle continues between Vamos and WAG, and the AxC will be taken down. There goes M590 domination, but who's knocking it down? It is Team Todak, who will
tá ligado, né, Camis? Tô... Uma das paradas que eu mais odeio é a galera fazendo esse fake de live gravada, mano. Eu pego o ar mesmo e foda-se.
But if in case core memory changes their mind and introduce themselves a little bit early, this will be a 3-way battle.
So far, that wouldn't be the case. Core memories are busy getting taken down by Onyx Olympus. Todak now with a triple stack up. Alan and Cyrus playing this, you know, one-to-one defense, and now they're gonna make their move out of there, realizing that they're outnumbered and just enough to get away from Todak. So WAG, they cut all their losses, with Krillin actually getting blown up by Lozzy. That's revenge for the earlier loss that they've taken. WAG now have to slow down.
Let's see if they'll be able to bring Clearing back, and also with the Silk Bunker already here available for them, they might be able to equip themselves a little bit more, but no, they are still focused and probably distracted by Team Vamos. G'day is just dropping in and everyone is chasing him
Fala,
out.
Bruno. Pô, a gente acorda aqui 7h30 da manhã, passar uma água no rosto, e vem um arrombado, live gravada aqui pra tu. Campo Mobile, 4 horas Del Rey final. E aí a gente pode... Pô, com todo respeito a Core Memory Sports aí, mano, desiste do campeonato. Fala pros caras da Tailândia que não dá, que tá desanimado. Mas, mano, todas as quedas vocês caem top 15, mano. Horríveis.
And they need to get away. If they want to get all those points towards the end, or probably get placement points as well, they need to move away from Bordeaux United. Though they don't know that this is Bordeaux United that they will be pacing off, they need to like ease away from any engagement up until mid game.
Just play slow. There's still a lot of time and space to work with. And Onyx making the exact choice. Just completely disengaged from GOW, even though they had the full team around, they just didn't want any smoke. So GOW also gets a free pass to rotate, but this is the Malaysian Derby. Todak have finally caught up with Vamos, who have spent majority of the round just trying to recover, but it seems like there's no rest for the wicked.
There's no rest, definitely. I mean, they are here to get more. And speaking of no rest, Vamos right now against Todak. So there's really no resting at this point. No points for Todak just yet. They missed that opportunity earlier to go for the third party, and they're trying to beat Team Vamos in this punch. But the Axel against two players from Todak is doing well, like you're really protecting himself and distracting the rest of the team. But Vamos right now, I guess they will not make that move unless they see the next phase of the circle that will be closing in a bit, and then that's where they make that decision.
Vamos are sitting at the edge as well. They have the high ground advantage, but eventually they will have to pass through Todak if that's the direction that they take straight down. Obviously, the Axel is still holding both Noki and Vidal, but not for long. They finally make their move. Goes for a double up on the Axel, who was completely unprepared for that. So Vamos, again, not able to formulate any response to their aggressors. Jun having the vehicle to drive off, but unfortunately, he might have to just sack whoever was left behind, and Vamos continues to be on the back foot.
The thing though, that is Lozy for the distraction on the left side, and then the one on the right hand side. Not quite sure why Lozy really fired against Todak, because the vehicle is more of to get their attention, so for him to get into the circle, but he just switched around. Probably chances that more chances to be able to survive on a vehicle, but Lozy is in a loss right now. Half HP, no healing being done, and there's no time to stop to heal, as well as two players from Todak will be eliminating him in a bit. And also, just in case Lozy gets into the zone, two more players will be waiting.
His best hope right now is just to buy as much time as
Vamos
possible.
pro lobby.
There might be an X Factor coming in. Visaka Srivijaya showing up, and you can hear the roar of the engine. They are here to clean it up, if anything. Lozy might be the victor. In fact, Vidal's gets up, being taken down by Joel. So Todak, they chased after a hare, but they ran into a lion instead, and it's a pride of them. All four members of VSJ surrounding Noki. Maybe Lozy will get the last lap, retiring them into a couple of shots. Gardu finds Noki, and Todak loses two members just like that.
And two members really at the risk, but it was quite a surprise. They're just waiting, as you mentioned. They are just preying on one player, but here comes the predator. That is Visaka Srivijaya, who went in for those elimination, and also following him, the prey that they save, eliminating Lozy in that area. Now heading over to Clock Tower, three teams already taking each compound. Bigatron, Onyx, as well as Evo's Divine. But I think Evo's Divine has more advantage on their position. High ground, open area, and there's also a huge chance that anyone who gets in will be eliminated.
Yeah, Clock Tower, very nice spot to defend if you can get the main building. Obviously, there's also Bigatron nearby that can be the X Factor and draw the attention of Onyx away. But just looking at where Evos is positioned, they have controlled majority of the entry point. And not just that, having that high ground, like you mentioned, gives them a good vantage point over other teams presiding in the area. We just caught a glimpse of GOW from the southern side as well, from Clock Tower. Team Flash coming in north of Onyx. It's about to get very messy in this spot.
Yeah, definitely messy indeed. 4 teams already in, and Team Flash will be making that, I would say they will be making a little bit of noise because Onyx Olympus has stayed silent in this area because of the number of teams already here. But with Team Flash being taken by the blue right now, will they be able to fight back as fairly compared to those who is already in the zone? But no, they went away, flew in, and take another compound, a one that is not occupied.
Caralho, pega a chupetada da Flash pro compound certinho, bonitinho.
Everyone gets a house, and all of them are in the circle for now, but it's going to change pretty soon when the blue starts closing in.
This is a Brazilian stream, bro. I know you're a foreigner, but we are still a Brazilian
just playing
stream.
the same old style that they have been when they are comfortably in the lead. No rush at all. They read the circle right. No conflict with any single team aside from Fort Marie earlier on, which they did wipe out eventually. But they will be coming in from Factory, the southeastern side. And I think BRU, they can take this slow.
Yeah, I mean, they have been doing that tactic all throughout. Every time that they win a
iFood
day,
não
they
tem
are
mais,
taking it
Luiz.
slow.
Não
They just
existe
take
cupom
advantage
iFood
of
mais.
some
Essa é
of
a
the
pista.
teams who are like probably
Não
more
vai dar pra
stragglers
resgatar
who
mesmo.
are out in the open. And then when it comes to a much tighter space, then that's where they will bring it on. As you can see, 11 teams alive and 43 survivors in the battlefield, and we're looking at a very small zone, very small circle within Clock Tower.
And Kochu starting things off with a knockdown. Expand taking the beating. There's a BTR. Slowly also pelts Expand. They are surrounded. All the Indonesian teams are just throwing grenades at them. Utilities left, right, and center. Too many angles for Expand to cover. They gotta pick a poison, and Koja is the one who hits the jackpot. A nade onto 2 members of Expand, and they are here to pick it up and collect the reward. And it's just easy pickings overall. Expand soon no chance in this building.
Little to no chance indeed. But we still have one more who is alive for Expand. It is Loki, who's just getting high key at that point in that rooftop. So managed to get away. BTR still above or below him. And let's see if he can gather points that they need. No, nade onto him. It is Koja. Splits blitz to make it more of a damage, but not so much survivability on him. A few HP remaining. Riptide Riddle as well coming from the other side. And it was Onyx who puts in the final nail in the coffin.
And in the meantime, BRU finally shows the presence is them against WAG with Wasana getting the first knockdown. Allen also getting picked up, but Buffy is told up. The third party in this entire chain of events. BRU gets the wipeout first onto WAG. But Todak's presence very well noted. Let's see if Todak can take advantage of this.
The one thing though, I mean,
Mete Raif, tá pra jogo.
Estão de volta. Ninguém segura mais.
It's not just them damaging that team. There's a lot of help coming from the far, but Jonah has been taken down with a God Nade coming from Todak, and here comes the pickup plus a backup as well. But this is a trap. Don't get in because Bermuda United is just waiting for you, and there goes 2 down simultaneously.
Os dois caras caíram juntos, mano.
The patience is paying off. Todak, the next team on the list, on the blacklist of BRU. 8 points just like that, and Fire is going to be left up to dry. Gotta choose either the blue or BRU. None of them are good choices. He's left all alone. BRU just waiting for the inevitable pickup onto Fire. And even then, BRU, when they start rotating, there's no team to stop them. It's a clear path in front.
And that's one thing. I mean, they wait before they get a chance to go in for a team versus team. And the moment that they will have that opportunity, they will wipe them out. Fi's the only one remaining right here. And as you can see, they're not really chasing against the other teams who are fighting on the other side. They are just focusing on eliminating, making sure that no one will be backstabbing them. But speaking of eliminating, Onyx Olympus has been eliminated. That is from the hands of Evo's Divine, and as well as Todak from Bermuda United.
Finally perishing to the blue, and it is a clear path for BRU forward.
Cara falando que o Asana tá nerfado. Ele jogou bem mesmo.
The rest of the squads are hanging around on the northwestern side of Clock Tower with She Flash, Evos, Vamos, BTR, all clumped up in a tight area, and they are all going to be forced to move towards the circle very soon. Joel with the first knock onto Aim God and picks him up.
Você não tava domingo, né?
Yeah, the pickup will help. Coach Chill will be taken down because of GOW, and it is troublesome for Evo's Divine right now because the Blues taking them in. The launch pad to be able to get on top of everyone, but BTR's also waiting on them as they battle against Bisaka Sriwijaya. This compound might help Bisaka Sriwijaya at this point. Ray has been pushed away as Rasia will be picked up. No contention on the other side. Losi is still waiting for a pickup coming from Day. It's just chaos overall in this side.
Pandemonium. And the first victim is going to be Team Vamos, BRU, and GOW. So chilling on the southern side. They are going to engage in their own fight, but the main event still happens in what we see on screen. BTR, Kyung, Diggs all trying to find their way to the labyrinth of blue wall, but it's so tough. Kyung finally breaks through as Visaka Sriwijaya takes down Evo's Divine Riptide Rhythm from 10 miles away. All the glue walls that they put up starts going down. GOW will make themselves known by taking down a couple of members of BRU, but VESJ somehow are the ones who comes out the winner, unaffected by some of these glue wall melters from behind, thrown by Team Flash and BTR. They're waiting for their chances.
Yeah, let's see if they can get their chances and will it pay off. Team Flash, the one taking Visaka Sriwijaya at this point.
Pô, aquele paradinha da FFWS que aparece o time contra os vivos em cima ali, pô, cadê?
Tem. Só agora que tem 4. Agora foi pra 2 direto. Mas tem ela. Eu sou gol desde criancinha.
Já deu o gol, filho.
Não, mas tem que torcer, ué. Ah lá, porque a safe vai puxar pra Big Tron. O Mike teve de boa encostar ali. Gelo na cara do Tom, seguindo a cartilha. E nem pega essa bomba na mão. Tá maluco?
Mixing into the building, steps on the trip, Mike Young takes out Tan to even out the playing field. Luo gets put up, Tan will be able to pick himself back up. Yenbin rushes on outside, looking for Diggs, a double out from behind. Diggs needs to survive this encounter, walls himself up to buy time, but it's not enough. Kyung ends up being the victim, and now Diggs has to deal with the entirety of GOW, who will chase him down, knock him down, and it will be GOW to open things up with the Booyah.
O Buiazinho da gol aí, tropa. Eles estão mantendo regularidade, né?
First Booyah of the day for the Vietnamese team, and it is not easy, especially on that final.
E o Jai naquele dia falou que era pra ficar de olho no menorzinho. Salve, tropa, bom dia. Lembrando que tá ligado aí pro GG, que quiser mandar aquela mensagem, pode ficar à vontade.
They also won the most important fight off screen, which was against BRU, because GOW
and
BRU were the only teams that isn't involved in the chaos that we were seeing on screen. They were on the southern side of the circle, and in a fair fight, GOW just beat BRU, which is something that we don't see often, and they took that opportunity.
Mandem live pick, só a VG precisa recuperar o rombo de ontem. Já arrombaram ontem, VG?
Nada disso.
Ué, estão falando aqui.
Nada disso.
Você teve que pagar milão por pousada do nada.
For Bigatron Delta, they have not left that area from, I would say,
se saiu milão do nada da conta, deu um rombo na conta corrente, não?
Nada disso.
Ué.
A few more resources for them, but I guess they were getting it from the teams that they were eliminating. But for GOW, coming from Observatory, they just have to move down and then follow the blue from the clock tower as to where it ended. It was quite tight though, from the first shift of the circle towards that final
Zero Vocal mandou R$10.
It was just
mandando pra você comprar aqui no local hoje de noite. Manda salve seu tempo.
Tamo junto, salve bruxo, tamo junto. Aquele speak.
They are looking to raise the bar, and indeed they have raised the bar. You know, it works in very mysterious ways. GOW somehow managed to find a way into the final phases of the game and beat out the toughest team out there to secure themselves a good chance to eventually take down BTR, despite BTR's best efforts to level the playing field.
Yeah, that's one thing though. I mean, BTR has been changing their pace overall. They're not that too aggressive team already, which I love. But so far for this final battle, BTR could have taken that win.
Tá ligado?
A little bit too aggressive.
Aquela pomada, tá ligado?
Much more cover coming from them, more
Mundial,
resource, I would
cabelo
say.
e tal.
But we're going to hear more from this team as we head over to the
Não queria passar gel também, porque gel deixa
what the Booyah Takers has to say.
And it's a Booyah for Vietnam. Welcome everybody to our interview after the match, and you know, right next to me is a future that might seem to be far away but so familiar. Can you introduce yourself please? Xin chào tất cả mọi người, và đây là gương mặt tưởng chừng như lạ nhưng mà rất là quen. Bạn có thể giới thiệu bản thân mình cho các bạn khán giả được không ạ?
Mình là Yenbin, đến từ Gao.
This is Yanbin from Gal Esports. So first of all, congratulations for your first booyah of the day. I was really surprised because this is Gal Esports and seems like they have changed a lot. So Yanbin, how do you feel right now? Have you feel comfortable and getting used to your team these days? Thì lời đầu tiên là Yusu xin được chúc mừng Gal Esports cùng với Yanbin, các bạn đã rất xuất sắc ở trong trận đấu đầu tiên với một cái booyah dành cho đội tuyển của mình. Thì không biết là hiện tại là Yanbin đã thực sự cảm thấy thân thuộc với Gal Esports chưa? Mọi người đã quen được với lối chơi của nhau chưa ạ?
Sau 2 tuần thi đấu thì bọn mình cũng rút ra được khá là nhiều kinh nghiệm. Thì bọn mình cũng tính toán hết rồi. Bọn mình sẽ cố gắng vào top 8.
After our 2 weeks of competitive, we feel like we are getting used to other, and now we feel like we are the perfect match until now. And we will try our best to join into the top 8, which is a class squad mode. So into our second questions, I can see that the combat with Bermuda United Esports was so intense. I would like to ask you that, who called that scene and how can you guys play so perfect like that? What glued you guys into each other? Thì có một cái pha thi đấu hồi nãy là bọn mình có một cái pha combat rất là căng thẳng với Bermuda United Esports. Thì tôi muốn hỏi là lúc đó là ai đã là người con team chính và làm sao mà mọi người có thể gắn kết với nhau được để tạo ra một cái màn combat hoàn hảo đến như vậy vậy ạ?
Thì trong trận đấu thì bọn mình sẽ không biết team nào, cho nên là gặp team nào thì cùng hướng bo với mình thì bọn mình sẽ đẩy thôi.
Cùng hướng bo là mình sẽ đẩy thôi. Vậy thì nếu như mà là con chính thì ai sẽ là con chính?
Thì đây anh nha.
Ghê dạ. So for the main color of the team, it would be Diane, and we feel like because in the team we don't know who play in the circle with us. We don't know what team we will confront of. So that's why we just keep going. We just join together in a circle and we play our best in that.
Eles não sabem quem que eles vão enfrentar, então eles jogam do mesmo jeito, tentando fazer o melhor, etc e tal, para ganhar a troca.
Thì Yanbin cũng đã nói là mình sẽ cố gắng này đội top 8 cùng với Gal Esports rồi. Thì Yanbin có dự đoán là sẽ có những đội tuyển Việt Nam nào vào top 8 cùng với mình không?
Theo mình đoán thì sẽ có WG, Flash, Heavy với lại
Essa pergunta eu não entendi, tá falando outra coisa.
So for his guess, for the top 8 Vietnamese to join the class squad mode, it would be WAG, Team Flash, Heavy, and Gal Esports. Cảm ơn Yanbin rất là nhiều và Yusu mong rằng là sẽ được gặp nhiều thành viên khác của Gal Esports và tất nhiên là từ WAG và đồng thời là Team Flash của trên màn phỏng vấn của Yusu này. Thank you so much for watching us on our interview. And now let's head back to our caster and see the game stats.
No. O AG Flash who...
There you have it, Yanbin, who has been recently introduced to GAO or GOW Esports, and I have been doing well. Like coming from
Tropa, já vamos fazer aquelazinha para chamar a galera. Avisar que a gente está online para mais uma rodada de Free Fire CIA. Vou postar agora no Twitter e quero ver aqueles RT.
One of the few veterans, one of the few elites from the Vietnamese region, right? With his tenure with Team Flash, I've seen the highs and lows, and every time.
Acabei de postar, quero ver o RT da tropa lá para dar aquela fortalecida.
Not leave out of the dialogue, and now seeing him on a different color, it definitely feels weird in the beginning, but you can start to understand why he is such a decorated player in the scene. Even though when he was with Team Flash, it didn't feel like Team Flash made it all that far, but they were one of the first few teams that put Vietnam on the map before teams like GOW and WAG showed up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the tenacity that like Team Flash, formerly known as YE Esports, similar to what we've seen from PE from before. They have been pushed down though. I mean, they have been aggressive all throughout. But before we go there, let's head over to MVP Dion. 6 elimination. Not so much of damage because of all the chaos that's been happening, but they were raking onto the points, wearing that Coda, Joseph Nairi, and that Kairos, and also using that Bison up close and personal. Well, really, this guy will be hitting it with that Nairi, as well as that Kairos, that breaker mode, as well as that defense breaker that he's been using, converting EP or energy points to help them in this fight. But for the rest of the teams, not so much of difference in terms of skills But in terms of pet, we are seeing Flash. So I guess knowing Yan Bin, he will just let people gun him from behind because he's using that Flash.
Yeah, he is so confident, you know, in just moving forward. It's all about the aggression from this team, right? You have good intel gatherers with the Coda, and once Skylar says go, Riptide Rhythm online, they just go. And in fact, we saw how they took the fight against BRU. Even when you just look at the icons on the map, they were not afraid to engage, win the fight. And then when it came down to BTR, it's just full speed ahead. The communication was on point the whole time.
Yeah, he's on point indeed. And let's see what else will be done by GOW. In terms of team stats, it is DN, as mentioned earlier, with 6 elimination, 3 elimination coming from Yanbin, and 1 each for Ton and Demon. And with assist, though, I mean, really, Yanbin as well as Ton has done so much for the key players. Apart from the highest elimination, we also have Moshi as a sniper with highest damage. I guess Moshi is the one who stole those damage away from DN, plus the assist coming from Wasana. But as you did mention, these are the teams that are GOW as the ones who took down Bermuda United, though. So let's see on how much Bermuda United has taken in later points, in the later stats when we look at the game stat.
Oh yeah, and, I mean, even right now for GOW with the 23 points, it's definitely gonna overall standings, and you just look at who is in front of them, right? Like it was All Gamer Global. I think they've gotten enough points to overtake AG Global for now. Even BTR didn't do too bad, right? Second place, the BRU, despite getting knocked out by GOW, they racked up decent points for their demise. So at the end of the day, the teams that we expect to be are there. You know, we got GOW, BRU, WAG, off to a slightly slower start.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for Expand as well as Core Memory. Like, Expand really coming from, if I'm not mistaken, they went in from Sentosa and then introduced themselves into Factory before heading to Clock Tower. They have been eliminated a little bit early. The same goes for Core Memory. They went in from Hangar, and the moment that the other teams has been put in the mix because of the push or the shift of the circle, they didn't get a chance to get those points compared to what we've seen Bisaka Sriwijaya has done, coming from Cape Town and then slowly moving in. But they've been doing great performance so far, and it is with the help of our sponsor, Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. When it comes to performance, there's no one else to call bad but this guy.
Yeah, it is a bad boy because it's equipped with the next generation Snapdragon 8 Elite Galaxy processor, and it also features an enhanced Vulkan engine, improved ray tracing technology that delivers outstanding performance along with a smooth gaming experience and lifelike graphics. And on top of that, it has great AI technology for people who might not want to use it for gaming, but you want to use it for photography, shoot some videos. It has whatever you need, right? You want to crop someone out the background, do what you need to do. It will get the job done.
No more photo bombers at this point. That has been a problem of all photographers, all mobile users. That is what Samsung.
Por aqui, bora, minha tropa. Compartilha. Deixa o like para fortalecer. Já, segunda queda na tela.
Just finished, and it's quite fast in terms of games. Game number 1's already done, and we're heading into game number 2, Alpine. The only question is, will GOW fall for the same curse or same trap of grabbing that booyah and then bombing out early in the next?
And that has always been kind of the story, right? The pattern for a lot of teams. They start off great, and then they fall off a cliff afterwards. And hopefully that's not the case. Well, at least for Alpine, we won't have RRQ, Kazu in the mix, but we still have WAG and BRU.
Yeah, I mean, WAG has 5 points ahead of Bermuda United, and it is a fact as well that there are certain days that Bermuda United really didn't work out, like in more of the 2 Alpine games or game day. So that is possibly the reason why they have been pushed down number 2. But let's not take it away from WAG as well. They've done so much in terms of how they performed in week 2. Thus, they took a lead in this map. The only question remains: Will they do it once again, or will Bermuda United will be topping this off?
Yeah, hopefully that's going to be the case. You know, we've seen how BRU played game 1, and I think that would be the
Why
trend
are we
for
watching?
the rest of the night, where they just take it slow and then they come in
It's
the very last
fun.
moment to get
It's
some
informative.
extra points as we gear up to move
We like to
into
bring the
round
Southeast
number
Asians
2
to
of the
Brazil,
day.
so, yeah.
It's not going to slow down anytime soon.
It's
so
our job
buckle up.
after
We
all,
got
bro.
Alpine coming up.
Alpine indeed, and looking at the flight path right now, it's not that cruel, but a little bit shifting towards the south, but it gives an opening to snowfall where Bermuda United often drops, and it would depend on where the circle will be traversing or traveling, but as we look
Não
at
vou
the
nem me
rest of
iludir
the
que já
teams,
teve dia
Zodiac
que
will be
começou com
very, very
intervalo de
close to them,
boa.
heading to
Fudeu
Garrison, and
depois.
they might be the first team to meet them. We also have Court
A de domingo demorou quanto?
Militia, who
Mano, de
have
domingo
taken the
teve uma
middle
que
of the
uma
map,
queda
good chance that
demorou
they will be able to
32,
stay
eu
there
acho.
for the longest time.
Again, BRU
As outras foi na média 14,
basically a
15. Tá.
snowfall. And no contentious. I think BRU is one of the few teams that have really done the prep, and they always find drop spots
Ah,
where
essa
people don't dare to
quedinha aí,
challenge
essa
them,
animação
and
de queda.
they always get kind of a free looting opening, right? Well, in this case, it's unlike Vamos and Onyx Olympus, who are literally sharing the southeastern side of the stadium.
Se a luz
It's one thing, though.
passar
It's
pro Mundial,
tough
será
for
que eles
Team
vão
Vamos and
quebrar
Onyx Olympus to be
essa
doing
cal de
this hot
nevado?
dropping,
Vão
because
sim, pô.
it seems like there is a lot of risk, especially for the side of Onyx Olympus, as they
Vão sim.
are somewhat away from the top 12 or the bottom of top 12, and it's a matter of just wasting all those
Tropa,
resources.
estamos na
This bottom
campanha.
part, this stadium has
Hashtag
been
ajuda o
taken
AVG.
by Onyx Olympus, but
Perdeu
Team
1000 pro
Vamos
Peusado
wants
aí.
over, like take over
Nós tá
this
fazendo
top
hora
spot, so
extra.
if Onyx Olympus doesn't move, it might be more
3
losses for them.
diazinhos aí pra VG recuperar o tempo perdido, o dinheiro
Does not have the
perdido.
health to deal with Vamos. Prime MKS, he's taken down in the wings. Taking the wings, he might get clipped so far. 35 health to work
Saudade
with.
dele,
Wins that one
AVG.
against today. Good 1v1. Here comes a double
Deixa
around the corner.
forte.
Lost finds the swing axe, so we'll finish things off. Onyx losing 3 members. at the
Papo
start.
reto, daqui a pouco ele aparece.
Inside Ru will be at 0% at this point, if in case Vamos manage to chase them. But on the other side, we have Evo's Divine, Visaka Srivijaya, Indonesian front, and Joe Wheel will be taken down up close and personal. No snipers from Joe Wheel will fire back because of that M590. The only question is, where is the rest, and will they be able to get away, because Core Memory is also in this area.
Evo is off to a good start, and Core Memory is the team that got knocked out first previously. They had a run-in with BRU, who ended their run very quickly in game 1.
Até levantaram.
Let's see if they can
Então.
recover in the situation.
Mas a gente, eu e a VG já tínhamos falado também, mano. Na mesa, deitado na cadeira, com a cadeira inclinada pra trás. Mano, a concentração já foi pro saco já, mano.
Let's see, and there goes a takedown, 2 down, Riptide Rhythm.
Mano, essa core mesmo.
É, mano. Pode fechar, mano.
Olha esses
Ela
caras jogando Free Fire.
salvou um que tá caindo longe pra cacete e vai morrer top. Ah, mano.
5 elimination already. Evo's Divine, Visaka Srivijaya still in the area, but
Tá
will
foda.
get away, but no team being wiped just yet.
I don't know what was that. Core Memory. I think you guys need to really start thinking about those movements, because it was a very unnecessary move. If you want to rotate, then you commit to it. They did it halfway and it got completely picked off. So very disastrous mistake from CRM. But thankfully, unlike game 1, they're still in it to win it, but they have to start from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reset, and we're already looking at the second we're already looking at the first going to the second of the phase circle. Now for Team Vamos, they will be
Salve, Davi,
challenged by
tamo junto.
WAG after they pushed away Onyx Olympus in this area. Clearing though, a little bit too close for comfort, but I guess it's more information to be able to move away.
close
Shots
for
on
comfort.
him, but no takedown just yet. But the flight of one player of Vamos just to get more of like up close and personal battle.
Let's see how Vamos deals with this. This is a rematch from game 1. Both teams now have had some time to prep for this particular showdown. The WAG sticking together a lot more. Vamos split up. They do have AxC on top of the roof, and you know, if you look at the history of AxC, he has a very good track record of long-range support, especially back in the Expand days. Let's see if he can replicate that. WAG surrounding this entire warehouse, and Vamos starting to pressure them indoors.
See if where will it work, whether it's indoors or the open field. But again, as you did mention, the AxC really is quite well in that information, as well as like putting in the initial damage on that rooftop. But Alan right now, very, very close. Here comes a rush. M590 has been stopped by that glue wall. Gives time for Alan to move away. Melters will be put up, but Team Vamos not out just yet. They want to get in this compound with FGL. A little bit of hurt will be felt. And Kirin goes down from the hands of June.
What a shot from June. And he is going to take some damage in return, but the
Então,
job is
Agma,
done.
mano,
The
pra
day
Vamos.
follows up, and this time, Vamos came prepared. Alan had no chance at all. Bordeaux will be able to take down the AxC. If we have a star player, which is the AxC on the side of Vamos, we have X4 for WAG.
Oxe, que isso,
decorated
X1?
snipers from Vietnam, and so far
Não é
he is
X1
the one
não.
keeping the run intact, but
É
unfortunately,
3x1.
Vamos is on his tail, and Core Memory have just arrived.
Now let's see if he can bait Core Memory to engage against Vamos so that they can get away. Not so
Deixa eu amar o
much
baldo
of
nada.
help will be done on X4. No recovery happening as well. And shots from behind, because that is Core Memory saying that they will not rescue him, but up close and personal. G'day plus June taking down the two players from WAG, ending their fight in game 2.
E agora eles voltaram. Core Memory. O Buia nessa queda de Alpine.
Onslaught of CRM, and the nightmare isn't over yet. In fact, it's just beginning, because we got a third team coming in. It's Team Flash as Vamos bites the dust, and Core Memory, they only have a couple of seconds before Team Flash knocks on their front doors.
And this is quite tight though, and we're talking about outside of the blue. We're talking about a new challenger. Team Flash has inserted the coin and is ready for a fight, but for how long will they wait? Will they really wait for Core Memory at this point, or do they have to move? Because from what I'm seeing, the northern part of Stadium, or Stadium itself, is quite free. They just heard the gunshots, thus they were pulled in the southern area.
Team Flash were taking that time, being quite patient. Core Memory taking a bit of a rotation to high ground, right? They want their vantage point. We see one of the players going up, and it didn't pay off. In fact, the one on ground, so the one getting punished, pulled a bit late to respond, and it gives Team Flash enough time to go into cover and jump. It's the second one to get knocked down, so resources are getting forced out by CRM. ABCD finishes off jump, and Core Memory, despite the idea to make a move and get an advantage, ends up biting them in the back, and now they have to fight Team Flash head on. Cougar responds by taking out the Zom, but Team Flash still have members left. Depth swings the corner, Cougar goes down, ABCD takes out Foki, and Poon, he is out of there.
It's a good way for Poon really to get away from the engagement. I thought Core Memory will have a win in that fight, but it's a good backup plan, like an exit strategy coming from Poon. But how will that work for the rest of the team of Flash? We'll have to find out in a bit. BTR right now putting a lot of pressure.
Você viu o bagulho que eu mandei ontem, antes de você mandar aquilo? Você foi lá ler?
From afar, and Sunside is where it will be. Not only will be Todak in the mix, Expand will be here as well on the other compound. So it's not looking good for team, or for the Malaysian teams, because not only are BDR, Expand, and Todak will be here, Buriram United is also waiting for their chance.
Wonder if Expand heard all the exchange, because they are hanging out at Sunside. You got BRU coming in from northeast. BTR caught in the middle a little bit, but I think the team that is a lot more concerned about where they are is going to be Expand, right? Visaka Suri Vijaya is right behind them. You got Onyx Olympus in the far south. So Expand, if they want to make a rotation, the next pit stop is going to be the fortress of BRU. Not BRU, BTR.
Calma, Itachi, calma.
I mean,
foi só da primeira pra segunda, vamos ver.
I mean, good high ground advantage coming from them, good cover as well, and a few open areas just in case anyone will try to sneak in. For BRU, they're not really like making so much from the compound that they have. They want to be silent because once someone pushes on them, there's not so much of an escape coming from this team. But speaking of escape, Deixa, a team that had managed to escape earlier, is now back in fight, and they're trying to chase over Videls, but it is Koja from afar who beat them to it, and they went into line of sights of BTR.
Yeah, VSJ just came in and took the slot of Todak. Now BTR, they thought they ran out of
Caralho, VG, vai deixar o Luiz te jogar pra nada?
Needs to think about that next rotation. And wherever they are, it's a very open spot. It's a very dangerous spot to play around. And not only that, you got Evil's Divine nearby. So if BTR doesn't threaten them, Evil's Divine eventually will.
Yeah, let's see.
VG, você tá mutado, pai?
And it is just about time. Third phase going in to fourth. A lot of teams will be pushed in together in a bit, but we're still dealing with 9 teams remaining. Now, Deixa from where Todak was earlier, still in line of sight of Kyong and BTR, but slowly from behind, we have Expand, who's trying to find a compound for themselves, but still unable to go for the push, probably because of all eyes pointed at BTR, who's making a lot of noise.
And BTR so far have been hanging on, very solid mana, in fact, uncontested, having a great compound to work with. Evil's Divine, you can say the same for them as well. Very spacious spot. Core Memory actually getting spotted out by the Dinoculus. Just great timing from Evil's Divine, so they can easily prep for that. The Core Memory has no idea what just hit him.
Let's see if someone else will be surprised. So far for Expand, I mean, they're just out in the open Sunside, where there's a few cover because of those solar panels, but AxC sights on Team Flash, Riptide Ridden to break their defense. But what defense will Expand has if in case Team Flash gets close? Wang An from afar tanking the blue as 3 players will be pushing in against Expand. But Volts is the one being damaged right now, who needs to get away. It's Onyx Olympus also shooting down on them, and Expand might be in trouble, thus the relocation.
Yeah, relocate right to the front doors of BTR, but able to find a building right beside. BRU getting eliminated off screen once more, as this time finishing a lot more at the bottom pack. 9th place for Buriram. Now this playing field is wide open once more. Team Flash, they're trying to chase Onyx Olympus.
Well, Onyx Olympus, though, is still holding into the boulder. A good opening for them, especially with wings on the snipes. But the 1-3 split right now, after Wang M managed to finally get into the blue, might not help his flank. But core member
Calma, Luiz Carlos.
As
Caralho,
well. Onyx Olympus
destravou,
will be
pai.
introduced to them, and here comes a knock. Cougar and Jump had 2 already, and Adam and Wings.
Caralho, core memory bateu cabeça, mano.
Has been clipped.
Comemora, torcedor da AAA. Você que tava com saudade deles, é agora, qualquer 13 kills no mínimo.
Flash gets the last shot, and the Team Flash that picks up the point. Kudos to Core Memory, right? They had a very disastrous beginning, and now they made it to the final phase, or at least the late game of this round, with all 4 members, all of them having to revive Signal, but this Team Flash shooting them from behind. Foki goes down as they try to take on Vasaka Srivijaya, but Evil's Divine is also part of this fight. It's a 4-way conflict.
That's one thing, though. I mean, if you have 7 teams and we're talking about the 4th going to the 5th of the circle, it would be tough to really move around, and even in the launch pad, because all eyes will be on you while everyone is just waiting for that blue to close in. So leaving to this point for CRM, for Core Memory, will be troublesome, but I guess the blue will save them in a bit unless they don't have an opening later as the next phase shows up. But no, Russia says no, they want to take them down. Melters will be in just to make sure they are not going anywhere, and the pressure coming from Coach Chill as well as Ray will be on.
This is going from bad to worse, as Ray takes out Jump. CRM out 9 points for Evos. As the Indonesians, they really are carrying it up. 3 more teams remain, all of them looking pretty strong. BTR now getting raided by Team Flash, but GOW is stopping Team Flash as they try to take out BTR. GOW playing spoilers.
Let's see if GOW
Tem meta novo, não.
put more.
Tamo na mesma.
There goes one down from the snipe.
Foi, agora eu tô torcendo pro Buia dar Evos Divine.
Trouble for BTR because Xpan has been waiting for this
Não nessa, não sei nem se eles estão vivos.
We're talking about this huge compound that
Tá simpatizado mesmo, né, bruxo?
holding on for so long, but 6 elimination.
Amiga, Luiz. Amigão.
Plus the blue coming in, but Team Flash
Eu só vou responder, mano. Não vou discutir e nem argumentar. Se for algo importante, amigão. Se for algo importante, a pessoa tem que mutar e resolver, cara.
O que foi, mano?
O cara tá pistola que você mutou, AVG.
Oxe, estava na ligação.
Exato,
Importante.
se for alguma coisa importante. Não, não, tô vendo a live aqui de Evos Divine e Vershak Zirivijaya. Se sua mãe te ligar, sua irmã... Oh, irmão, calma aí, pô.
Again, I'm seeing this tower and I'm reminiscing. It's nostalgic how this has changed though. The tower is becoming.
Será que os caras da Burirão perderam alguma coisa saindo da Evos? A line da Indonésia sempre mantém um padrão mesmo quando não ganha. Discordo, Aura. Até semana passada essa Evos Divine era pior que não vou nem falar o time, mano.
Esse do escalo da Reno Kibe, cara.
This is one thing for sure. Best J will be able to delay their approach because
o cara joga um óculos preto na cara e acha que é o Rafinha chegando pro jogo. Com certeza, pô, vou jogar, tô logando aqui agora na minha conta do Free Fire.
É isso, irmão, já conseguiu sua atenção, irmão. Boa sexta pra nós. Trocação vai pingar cabuloso. Eu tô com Evos pra caralho. Eu sou Evos.
Mais um boi do zombie.
Mano, tu vai ver. Ah, você tava na live que eu falei que o... Você tava na live que eu falei que o Rage vai deitar o primeiro. Você tava. Você tava. O suporte da Evos é sensação mundial, mano. Ó, ele... Tô falando, AVG! Porra! Eu falo que ele vai fazer, ele entrega, mano. Entrega no sentido de entregar o que ele pode entregar. De Free Fire, de qualidade. É o rei. É o rei. Pô, comemora, torcedor da Evos. A Indonésia tá em festa agora. Ah, VG! Tô falando! Ele tem a consistência.
Você tá torcendo pra gol ou pra Evos, cara?
O meu kill feed, o Rage deitou um cara.
Não, mas tem que decidir se isso é gol ou se isso é Evos,
cara. Eu tô torcendo na Evos. Já foi o build do Vietnã, cara. Já foi. Quero que se lasque agora. Ah, mais um dele, né? Coloca 4 na conta dele. Rage.
A Gol vai ganhar 3v4.
Quer recuperar seus 1000, VG? Ou quer perder mais 1000?
Tá de lança,
Ah, já ia apostar mais 1000 que a Gol. Toma taca aqui. Eu sou Evos Divine, porra! Larguei a mão da G, tá? AVG. Soltei a mão dos caras, agora eu sou Evos Divino.
Make the right decision. They got to the best spot possible in that final circle, and making sure that GOW was not able to follow them. That building, that roof gave them a position of power to not only overlook both VSJ and GOW, but also making sure that they are not threatened in any way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the timing. It's all about the timing. They were waiting for GOW to make that move, but there's also a risk of Best J jumping on them. So it's more of a risk versus reward. And like Evos Divine waited for that opportunity for Best J to jump out as well so that they can get a few more extra points, but it didn't happen that quickly. So they need to be ahead. And it is bound to happen because there's nowhere else that they will be heading. This is a compound that Evos Divine took. And this is where
Evos da Buia o Alok desperta, é isso aí, pô.
And it is just an elimination spree for this team.
Very well done by both Evos. and GOW in the
Mano,
very end.
será que esse Regia tem Instagram, mano? Instagram, Regia Free Fire.
Momentum, having superior utilities, edge it out. But GOW deserves some flowers, right? We wanted to see if they can remain consistent. Well, they've made it top 3 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, 2 rounds in a row. But let's not take it away against some of the teams really who made it work in this fight. But
achei o Insta dele.
Really grabbing that booyah. Hopefully we
1.2 milhões. Ah, fudeu. O cara tem 1.2 milhões de seguidores. Como que eu vou pedir uma camisa pra ele, mano? Não vai nem ver minha DM.
And they will be getting the knockout stage with multiple booyahs. They've outgrown that, but Evo's Divine is just taking it just to make sure that they have that momentum.
Regia, God.
And you know, it's BRU have had slow starts, right? Game 1 they got knocked out in like fourth place, but game 2 they got knocked out in 9th
Caster
spot.
from Brazil.
Very slow start for BRU, but knowing them, they can easily bounce back once they make some adjustments. But it's a pretty good start because usually we start the day off with Thailand and then we're left wondering if we'll ever get an interview from the other regions. But today,
College fora da safe.
And now we are gonna be heading towards Indonesia side to talk to Evo's Divine. And
we are the official live stream.
I would love to see more of Misa if Thailand really grabs a booyah, but I think it's time for Conchita Caroline right now. So we're going to bring you to Evo's
in
Divine
FFWS World Series
for this interview.
Thank you, Caster. Second game of the day.
I'm a big fan.
Goes to
É ele! Calma, eu vou traduzir toda a entrevista, rapaziada. É ele. Regia.
Let's talk about the competition entering the 3rd week. What do you think of the competition so far? Ini masuk pekan ketiga, menurut Rasha sendiri gimana nih kompetisinya? Apakah ada perbedaan? Apakah ada sensasi yang berbeda?
Ela perguntou como é que tá chegando na 3ª semana, competição em si.
Ketiga ini mungkin nggak terlalu banyak perbedaan lah, tapi ya menurutku dari week pertama sampai week 3 ini kita perlahan-lahan ya dikit-dikit improve sih. Ya.
Jadi memang kamu fokusnya sekarang lebih ke improve-nya ya. Kalau perubahan signifikan sih nggak ada, tapi fokus ke perubahan dan juga pastinya peningkatan performa. Okay, so he doesn't think that there's any differences between the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd week, but for them in general, 3rd week is about improvement. They're trying to do better and they're trying to achieve more. Talking about the game itself, we can see that EVOS literally blew everyone away, and I am so proud of seeing how you play as usual, being this super kid. What do you think of your opponents so far? Which of them is the hardest for you to beat? Ngelihat game tadi tuh aku bangga banget gimana.
Ela falou assim, nessa queda a Evo Divine destruiu todo mundo e eu tô muito orgulhosa porque eu tô muito feliz pelo desempenho. O que você tá achando dos outros times?
Bener-bener sosok wonderkid kamu tuh, aduh, membuat siapapun terkesima yang nonton ya.
Dos outros times não, desse momento que vocês estão vivendo, eu acho, sei lá.
Di game tadi khususnya, siapa menurut kamu yang bisa dikatakan menjadi lawan tersulit? Jangankan di game tadi deh.
Que isso, Camis?
Melihat Liz yang juga ikut bertanding menghadapi tim-tim Indonesia.
Camis tá gadão pra cima do Regia, VG. Que isso, Camis? Calma aí, pô.
Camis aí tá querendo, não tá sabendo pedir. Ele é foda.
Ela é foda, mano.
Esses ADMs são tudo pra frente, Nago.
Terakhir nih, ini adalah pekan ketiga yang
sexta-feira, 9 da manhã, pro ataque
infinito. A Tata fez escolinha.
Challenge hari ini adalah Indonesia lawan
O
negara-negara
garoto eu quero, você só pra bem.
Atau tidak. Menurut kamu, kita bisa nggak menang challenge hari ini?
Tentunya bisa, karena Indo sekarang tuh beda sama Indo yang lalu.
So I asked him, are you sure that Indonesia can win today's challenge by getting the most points out of the other countries? And he said that he's pretty sure Indonesia can win today's challenge because the Indonesia that we are now is so much different than the Indonesia that you used to know, and we are so much better now. Baik, Rasha, terima kasih banyak.
Vamos lá. Eu acho que o desafio do dia é qual região vai fazer mais pontos. E ela perguntou se ele... Pô, ele é GOAT demais, esse Regia, GOAT. Falou se acha que eles vão ganhar o desafio de fazer da região inteira fazer mais pontos. Aí falou, com certeza a gente não é a
Thank you very
Indonésia
much.
que
Lovely
éramos
interview by Coach
antigamente.
Caroline. And of course, we got Russia, the wonder kid
Olha aí,
from
ó.
Evo's Divine, and really showing
Raja.
off that aura, right? That presence. Young kid comes into competitive, shows up, gives us a storm. You know, and remember he even lost to like, was it Team Flash like in week 1? You know, and wasn't ready to accept the defeat. And today he is proving it. No opponents too tough for him to take down. No mountain too tall to climb.
Yeah, hopefully that is the case, not just for the winner kid, Razia, but also for the rest of the teams. With that confidence, if it grows really for the entire team, it can bring wonders in the score. So let's see more of what has happened in this highlight. But so far, they have been in Evo's Divine had been in a good run overall. Thus, they are really topping the charts every time they play, and I won't be surprised if Bermuda United will be overtaken for the whole day because of, I would say, how inconsistent they have been for the first 2 matches. But as you did mention, and some viewers out there has been telling us, they need time to warm up, or they need time to give chance to the others. But Razia, our MVP, 5 elimination and a whopping 4.3k on the damage and 6 knockdowns.
Yeah, just incredible performance, right? Just from this young gun that comes out of
Podemos
nowhere
dizer
and
que essa EVOS é a team solid deles.
makes himself known alongside the likes of Kochu, Ray, and AimGod, who have been veterans for a long time. A good mix of dynamics, running triple R1 as well. It's all about the info, and you can see how fast Razia capitalized on it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that information really works for them. But another thing that has my eyes on is Cassie with that Olivia and Thiva. Coach Hill really is here to go in back, or either Rasha, Ray, or AimGod. But the A124 introduction coming from Ray as well. That is something that we don't see often, though, but RRQ did manage to pull it off. So why not bring it here as well? But in terms of elimination, it's not just Rasha making that work. It is Ray with 5 as well, Coach Hill with 5. That is a total of 17 points already.
Yeah, 17 points. You add a Booyah on top, 29 points. So far, the highest record for today. Yes, again, very well done by Evo's Divine, right? There were definitely some questions, you know, whether they can overcome the compound of BTR. They did that, and then in the final circle, they were kind of caught up in the, you know, in between WESJ,
Estou, né, baby?
GOW, and they made it out of that also. And on the Hall of Fame, as you can see, Razia not only having the most damage, but also the most eliminations as a sniper, alongside Kochu with that glorious 9 assists.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Evo's Divine is showing and tried to show earlier as well, but they have been denied. But again, there are some teams really that doesn't let up or doesn't let go that easily. But one thing that I am giving props is
Depois da live da Tailândia, na nossa próxima live aqui, ó.
Trap or the curse, because they did quite well in second place.
Quantas
but
quedas?
not so much. The 11-point lead that Evo's Divine has probably is just payback on what happened earlier. But for Expand,
será que acaba até a...
Acaba.
Overall, even beating Team Flash as well. Visaka
Já conversei com os caras aqui. Como não tem campeonato, porque tipo um dia a Del Rey atrasou, porque a Liga, acho que Liga Marinha acabou 3h40, entendeu? Os times descansaram um pouco.
Não, mas eu quero saber se esse stat aqui da começou 4 horas, acaba...
Com
Today's
certeza.
standings, GOW sits in first after 2 consistent rounds, obviously. Evo's following close behind, and you got BTR, Flash, VSJ also having a good time so far. BRU, they had a good round 1. Round 2 was pretty lackluster, only 2 points, but it's enough to keep them in the conversation. Vamos though. Seems like this is the start to the day so far hasn't been what we thought it would be, you know, judging from their week 2 performance.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of early engagement, a lot of early contention in terms of compound and position-wise, but it's not really working for Team Vamos at that point. Even Expand tried it, but they did manage to get it work, but it's only that. First round, the first game was a loss with 0 points. It's only second game. and we don't want that like roller coaster ride in terms of consistency. You want to get a lot of points early and probably a lot more later as well. But speaking of later, we're going to go for a quick break. When we return, we continue on with the third up until the 6th map, because a lot will be happening for today. So don't go away. For the viewers out there, keep liking the stream and keep conversing. We'll be right back in a bit. So those of you who haven't heard this yet,
tá ligado, né? Ó, pra você que é a primeira vez na live da Tailândia, se liga nesse videozinho que eles fizeram do personagem novo. E aí tem o Tatsuya também. É legal, é legal.
Hello, Greaser. Still so impulsive. Don't rush, little guy. We have more important things to take care of. Oh, come on. What a hassle.
Stop trying to look cool and help out already.
Stop trying to aqui, AVG.
Sei lá.
Para de tentar aparecer, tipo assim, looking cool, tipo assim, para de tentar fazer graça e vem me ajudar logo.
Okay. Time to save the day again! What's happening?
Agora sim, meus amigos. Caicão é bravo, mas eu confesso que o agora sim ele me pega muito, VG. Não vou negar, sou muito fã do Carlão. Agora sim.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is the Free Fire World Series Southeast Asia Spring 2025. Once again, this is the first day of week 3, and so far we have done 2 matches already, and we've seen some of the aggression as well as consistency coming from both GOW and EVOs, and that has been brought because they are energized by none other than Red Bull, our official sponsor as well. And back in the caster says, I am Neptune, the gentleman Garcia, with my nephew, Husky.
Thank you very much.
Mas também mantém.
I think so far I've really been liking
quando o Caicão manda assim, o Lucasinho faz jogada, aí ele faz Lucas! Caralho, arrepia tudo também, mano. Estamos bem servidos de caster de Free Fire no Brasil, muito bem servidos.
Red Bull's got you covered. Run a marathon, probably sure that Red Bull got you covered. In fact, they cover all the extreme sports, right? You know, the athletes, they all have Red Bull under the tag, which is one of the few things that I really like watching when I go online. Just super doing their thing. And I think we're getting some super athletes from Free Fire as well.
Essa, quando ele joga essa, Davi, é braba também. Ele não fala muito.
Imagina.
É como se fosse um poder raro.
Imagina. Exatamente essa carinha aí. Te pedindo pra ir pra Brasília, Renan.
Para, velho. Deixa eu ver. Deixa eu ver. Pô, quando a VG manda... Chat, quando a VG manda uma foto de visualização única, já dá pra saber que ele tá vivendo, tá ligado? Se vocês tivessem o zap do AVG, chegou foto, visualização única, o homem tá onde? Nas Alameda, em alguma balada, com algum cantor famoso, não é possível. Vai
Tem como negar, Renago? Não tem como.
Ai, meu Deus do céu. Vamos que vamos.
Vou nem te contar onde que foi essa foto.
Não conta, não.
Não, maneira meus amigos, mano. Não. A mulher posta, os caras já encaminham no grupo. Todo mundo sabe onde ela tá. Eu tive que meter aquela cena com você ali, tá ligado?
Tá ligado.
Eu falei, não, pô, vou ver você, ela não vê agora.
Pô.
Quero ver se você tá vendo mesmo, se você quer que eu vá. Eu tô maluco, óbvio que eu quero que você vá, tá maluco. Vou mandar aqui agora pra tu ver, pô. Tem que ver quando ela leu que eu escrevi minha gata.
WAG kind of, make up for lost time, right? They've had 2 rounds already, hasn't been going their way, and hopefully this is going to be that moment, because we've seen WAG, they have some of the most prolific players, right? They're up and coming, right? Like, for example, Alan,
Aí ela falou, eu quero muito ir, tô falando sério. Eu falei, já é? Aí eu fui botar embaixo. Na verdade, Renago, ela que quer muito ir.
He himself isn't enough. We need the rest of WAG to also keep up.
Yeah, definitely.
A preocupação do Biel 7 ali, VG.
And we know that there are some players, like specific players, who once he pops off, the rest of the team follows. But for WAG, it's just like a summation of everyone's effort. So it's not just dependent on 1 or 2 players. So hopefully that's the case for everyone, because it has been a pattern that
padaria tá flutuando, dormindo muito bem.
There's no reputation overall. We are heading into this map.
Depois de uma boa noite de sono.
Let's fly through the desert in game 3.
E não estamos falando sobre dormir.
Dusters or something getting to be hot and dry and very minimal cover to work with. This one really tests out the macro knowledges of these teams. Early fights are going to be a lot more devastating due to the lack of cover. Let's check out the flight path first. Is it going to be still as generous?
Fala, Renago!
Incredible.
Fala, VG King.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think RNG gods will be rough on these players. They have been roughed up so far from the first 2 matches that we've seen. But let's see in terms of their
Camis tá torcendo pra Burirã. Fala aí o time que vocês estão torcendo nessa queda, rapaziada.
And confinement for Evo's Divines. So far for the first
queda na tela, 15 minutinhos eu acho que foi. Tá bom, vambora.
I would say undeterred in terms of the early engagement, but we're seeing VSJ right now.
Vasco,
like
não,
poking
cara.
the nest
Time aqui,
on Team Vamos right there in the northern part of this map.
Oh yeah, and let's see.
Pra terror da RNT agora é só buia tailandesa, amigão. Vietnã deu buia logo na primeira, pode ser qualquer uma. Mentira. Tô com a Indonésia, fechadão com a Indonésia. Evos Divine. Fica de olho nesse time. Aliás, fica de olho não. Deixa os homens brilhar.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of teams really that is challenging BRU. There are a few really that once drop in the same area as they have, and most of the time
Cadu tá fechadão com tesão.
É
isso.
That is something
Team
that they
Flash
really
pro
need to
Cadu.
think about. Just imagine maps just like this. It's not that small.
Ele levantei essa moral lá em cima e tá aí na gol.
O quê?
Falei, esse aqui é meu menes, cara que resolve tudo, o brabo, o bruxo.
Obrigado por levantar a moral, mas não é fato? Você não falou verdade?
for
Cara,
one
verdade,
point.
senhor.
Ah,
So
então tá bom.
if
Não,
you
então beleza.
know that a tough team will
Ah,
be in
ela,
a
o que que ele faz?
specific area, keep your
Falei
distance and
tudo.
probably you'll be able to end
Fala
up in the
assim,
final
gata,
circle.
o que ele não
One thing I
faz?
do like
É.
is, you know, the teams have started straying
Só que
away
aí
from
eu
the
aumentei
whole
sua responsabilidade
one
pra ela,
split
tá
right,
ligado?
send one scout out and then they go down
Falei
and
que tu
you can survive
conseguia
them
tudo.
and expand. You actually find Kyong. This is a good start for
Aí na
expand,
cabeça
right?
dela
The high
você
ground. Lot of pressure. Koja not able to get the revive in. Unfortunately, backup from
ia
Deep just
conseguir
spit too
tudo.
late fires. MKS finally knocks out Drian, but damage has
Mais
been
tarde
dealt.
você manda
Kyong
aquela
will be
mensagem,
down 2
amigo.
points for expand.
Vou mandar, mano.
The
Irmão,
first
vi
team
aqui.
in this map that
Não
we
tem
put
mais
out
voo junto
of
com
this
o
group
Sil.
being challenged by
Só isso
Expand.
que eu preciso, só
No
essa
surprise
mensagem.
though, because they're the ones who have been taken, like trying to take the
Meu voo está
compound earlier
lotado.
from Alpine and has been denied by BTR. So let's see the backstab coming from Luki, and Pais goes down. Dixon Koja right now trying to fight
Inclusive,
back.
se você
but
já quiser
will
mandar,
be able to do so. Max 7 in hand.
demonstre que você já correu atrás da situação, entendeu? Já quis resolver cedo.
No avail. Koja is remaining right now a little bit broke with only 300 on the coins. Make that 500, but is only solo. But core memory
Mano, aí tá aí a VG. Por que o Brasil não usa muita caçada, mano?
Porque os caras não querem.
Proibido não tá.
Não usa pra não revelar a rotação que estão fazendo.
Off of BTR and forcing them to now suffer this major setback.
Let's see if they'll be able to really recover out of this. But on the
Gosta
other
mais de
side,
surpreender os
we are
caras.
seeing Todak right now.
A caçada tu
being
fica
challenged
espotado.
by Team Flash,
Então,
Blue
fica o
Wall,
ataque e a defesa, né? Quem tá sendo
but
atacado.
very close quarter, and there goes a hit. ABCD taking down no
Lida.
Blue Wall stopping all the doors. Only one or two remains for Todak as they
Jogará formar fora.
A VG que joga FD em outra cidade e leva o Renagold de testemunha. A VG que joga FD em outra cidade. Entendeu isso aí, VG? Não entendi a frase do Cria, não.
Demon cashing in one of the points for his team. Vidal's left to dry again. Team Flash a bit split up. You see a member towards the eastern side. Demon's gonna poke his head out and now see the Zom. Dev even kind of peeks through the window, takes out Vidal. Instead, Toda really not having a good time.
Pô, finalmente vou poder usar a frase do pai da faca na VG. Quando a Evo estiver bem, na EWC no Mundial, vou chegar e falar: alguém já falava desse cara aí, desse suporte, hein? Alguém já falava. E vai ser Evos Raja levantando o troféu. É, ele mesmo.
Não, você vai poder usar essa frase a Vera, né? Que ele mete o louco.
Não, o pai da faca ele fala dessa que ele fala de todo o time. Tem 12 times no mapa, ele já falou dos 12.
Qualquer jogador.
Descobriu os 12. Porque alguém já falava desse mito aí, hein? Aí tipo, pô, pai da faca, calma aí. Ei, em God, voltou. Mano, se a Evo perder pra esse time bananada da... Aí, impossível, impossível. Corre, Triple A, vai embora. Seus horríveis. Olha lá, olha lá, olha lá. Um só.
Solo shows up, take that wall. A little bit of recovery for Cochiel, but on the outside, as Team Flash shooting him down as well. Riptide rated on him, and it is Wang M. VSK 95 didn't even give him a chance to jump out.
And I'm surprised that we are 6 minutes in, and every single one is still in this lobby. Despite how volatile the early rounds have been, you know, but it defies statistics, right? No teams have been wiped out just yet. Team Flash Huang
não sei de verdade.
will deny that opportunity. It's 4 points for Evos.
See, 4 points already, and well, I guess the area is clear right now because of all the pressure that they have brought into. But another civil war that we are not hoping for. Vamos and Sodak, Faiz for the takedown with a Thompson with the respawn with a Trogon from behind.
Fala, Cassandra Castro. O Buriram tá mediana, não vou mentir não.
So one distraction, one paying the price for the rest of the team surviving. That is good, but if they have the weaponry,
segue a cal da camisa aí, rapaziada. A VG perdeu milão ontem na aposta pro Pousada. Live da Tailândia para ele recuperar pelo menos uma parcela desse dinheiro aí.
Entendeu, meu?
O Nago pode dizer que a Buriram não assusta mais? Pô, com toda sinceridade, não querendo gerar clipe, eu acho que para os times que estão jogando a FFWS aí, o respeito ele existe, só que não é tipo da galera ficar com medo, mas é tipo assim, existe o respeito, mas não é da galera sair correndo assim, ficar com medo da troca. Igual antigamente era. Antigamente, no caso, ano passado.
E a unificação trouxe uma evolução sincera, né, mano? O campeonato dos caras lá tá bem mais equilibrado. Não tem mais a unanimidade. Por exemplo, a discrepância que o Fluxo tem com os demais times, lá não tem essa discrepância de time, não. Tá todo mundo meio que no mesmo nível. A liga dos caras é muito mais equilibrada.
Não vai morrer de queda, não. Eu tô ligado, Alves, tô ligado. Mas a Triple era boa, a Core Memory é horrível. Podia ficar os mesmos jogadores. Não aconteceu. Alguns saíram. Mas só o nome já é horrível. Pô, Triple A era um nome foda. Triple A. Aí bota esse bagulho de Core Memory Sports aí, não tem nada a ver uma coisa com a outra. Não, ficou feião. Logo feia, escudo feio. Camisa, nem sei se a camisa é bonita, que eles não dão um buia pra dar entrevista. Então é isso aí. Volta Triple A.
Finally engaging in some sort of combat in the mid game instead of late. Right? They've made a rotation straight towards the center of the circle. EVOS, they might also making their own move, but decides to wrap around the perimeter. So might end up running into core memory instead. They're already getting shot by either BRU or Visaka Sriwijaya. So EVOS having some good info to work with.
É, então, saiu o melhor jogador dos caras saiu, que era o Limit. Mas, pô, não justifica os caras tá tão ruim, mano. Inferior, depois que o suporte sai, beleza. Mas os caras tão tenebrosos, tipo, horrível.
The only question is, what will they do with that information, as you asked earlier? With core memory very, very close, but they will be waiting on that second floor. So I don't think EVOS Divine will be charging in any way because of how the next phase of the circle has shifted. So they will be safe. No need to move at all.
Oh yeah, I think even right now for EVOS, they understand that the onus is on the other teams to make a move, right? Like they themselves are fairly comfortable where they are. I think if you are, core memory, you're starting to think about if I make a rotation towards the center of Bay front, is EVOS gonna start punishing me? They've set up the cover with the glue walls at the window, but that is just a temporary measure. Onyx, Olympus also.
Valeu, Paulo. Meus sentimentos, meu querido.
Let's see if from Bayfront, what will they do next?
Core Memory antiga
has been very, very quiet, and you know this is the Boreo United that you don't want to engage with. Like it's 10 minutes into the game, but they do have 5 minutes based on your timer. 15 minutes is like pretty much the threshold that they are heated up, and they're not getting that much point, but they can do so from a distance with not so much of an opening. As you can see, RGS from the hands of EVOS Divine for memory now being rushed, and well, we expected this, but we didn't expect it to be happening this soon.
And let's see if EVOS made the right choice, because now they have to start committing onto the play, right? They've already exposed the game plan. bringing to the second floor is not going to be easy. With all the glue walls propped up, we even see the Riptide Rhythm, the glue wall melter, Aim God trying to make a detour, but that means that he's also exposing himself. This play, very risky, but the payoff can be huge as well. And it seems like they decided against it. Ray now needs time to heal back up.
Yeah, I mean, at some point when you go in a rush, you need to time yourself. If you cannot take them down in 10 seconds, similar to what they've done in the past, then you have to back away. You need to back up. From what I'm seeing, it's a full squad for core memory, so no takedown being done by Evo's Divine at this point. Despite of all the pressure that they can put into, there's a disadvantage because the moment that the blue closes in, core memory can just jump outside and gatekeep them on their way into the next phase.
Evos are going to be on the receiving end.
VG, tem uma denúncia contundente aqui.
Here comes Ray just trying to poke his head out a little bit to get us some intel. Evos Divine needs to really start making haste because the CRM or they poke it for Bayfront. His BRU have already made it in, so Evos decides to take on CRM instead. Kun gets knocked down. He's trying to get picked back up. The blue wall will buy a bit of time and space. Kun actually catches Ray on the flip side. Evos now taking fatal damage. 3 members on the ground, but still Evos comes out on top.
And I thought that would be a very, very bad move for Evo's Divine, but it just so happened that I would say they had a little bit of help from the outside, but Evo's Divine right now managed to take down core memory, and I guess they were also waiting for the timing of the blue to close in. So let's see on the next chapter of Evo's Divine for BTR, 4 elimination already, going in for the flank below Expand, and they might have an opening, but they exposed themselves, Riptide Rhythm onto them, and they are rushing in to that assault bunker.
Let's see if Expand can hold on to this one. BTR looking for clear revenge, and that is the motive, right? They're flicking on all the blue walls. The blue wall melter will help out.
Fala, Saimet. Tu já sabe que eu tô nessa corrida já. Todo dia mensagens e mensagens.
Expand actually makes the great escape. Buying enough time for them to make it out, but not enough time for them to survive as bodies start dropping. Team Flash joins in on the fun, and Expand decides to not stand their ground, and the fight ends up getting wiped instead.
I mean, that elevation is really, really tough, especially for Expand, but the same goes for Todak right now. It's only 2 players from GOW, and with just like that, they got eliminated. 9 elimination coming from GOW, though they didn't survive with a full squad compared to what we've seen earlier, but they're still making way. Next target probably is Visaka Sriwijaya, who's just next to them, but for Boreo United, they will not be holding back much longer. 2 elimination. These guys are hungry for those, and I guess they will start with Evo's Divine following Team Flash.
And Russia really wants to get away, but unfortunately eats a grenade from Jonah, and Evo's Divine bites the dust this time. No repeat of that top 3 from round 2. Team Flash now caught in the middle of all these firefights. BTR and VRU. Team Flash, they will just have to fight the bullet, and unfortunately there's just no way out. Team Flash wiped out in an instant.
Bermuda United says, yes, go ahead, put in damage.
Go
in for the finisher, and now it is.
Salve, Renagol, uma maravilha tá de férias e melhor ainda assistir o melhor canal do mundo. Tamo junto. Tamo junto, Matheus. Depois eu mando o Pix pelo elogio. E agora vem o time da Camis, que jurou que a Buriram ia dar o buia, senão ela vai dar 27 membros pro chat. Mas eu acho que não vai ter membro nenhum. Buriram chega. Opa. É Sonic boladão, ouriço puto ou Buriram.
Gets blasted.
Vão
The chip
tomar
damage from Zairu, just enough. Masada has 2 good puns, but he also is now in a bit of a pickle. They need to start moving. And Onyx Olympus pushing in. Out of the crime as they all get their damage in. And in a blink of an eye, Onyx Olympus snap. And they ends up getting the booyah.
Butzinho, eu vou até clicar no perfil, se for ele eu vou até ficar emocionado. Ai, é ele mesmo. Aí eu vou te dar mod aqui, calma, But. Calma.
Butzinho te elogiando.
Ele falou, tá bonitão. Bonito foi seu clutch no Mundial, But, caralho. Isso é foda. Perdão, emocionei. Kalahari você conhece, né, But? Buia dos caras.
Saime tá aí presente também, Saime.
Eu vi o Saimin. Saimin que eu tô precisando ter uma conversa com ele, tô...
E é o Bops também, cara.
Cadê o Bops? Rapaziada, vocês têm o Discord. Vocês têm o Discord. Entra, pelo amor de Deus. Pra gente fazer um tweet aqui daquele jeito e tal.
Bops falando contigo aí, tu dando mole.
25 no Pix de cada um aí. Quer dizer, vambora. Se quiser
Ah, o
colar...
Bops mandou ele, ó. Alô, RNT.
Cadê, cara?
Você não viu, não?
Tá me beitando, vagabundo?
Eu não, pô. Tá correto.
Pô, tu tá me beitando, calma aí.
Valeu, homem. Falou que eu tô bonito hoje.
Bob's
And
F...
most of the time, if Moshi gets knocked down, or anyone from Buddha United gets taken down, you won't see
Então,
tá vendo, tropa?
BRU back away.
Não dá pra entrar. Aí, o Bermuda. Como que não dá pros caras entrar no Discord?
Não dá pra entrar entre qualquer sala que a gente puxa do cargo, do cargo, moderação, dono do servidor.
Yeah, very well executed by Onyx Olympus, right? I think, was it last week we talked about Onyx Olympus and we wonder if this team is going to kind of restore
Tropa da cobrança, vocês estão ligados.
You know, about 2 years before, they had this period where they were really on the rise, right? Onyx Olympus felt like the next big team, and then they went on a down.
Os caras estão na fisioterapia.
That's good to see that they
Tá
put
vendo,
up a
tropa?
strong round and
Que os caras são o melhor do mundo.
contention to make it to top 12.
Tá passando. E faz isso, os caras tá assistindo. Quer saber como que tá o meta os estrangeiros. Cara, estão online o tempo todo.
Estamos na físio.
Aí amanhã, os caras é tricampeão mundial. Vamos dizer que foi sorte.
Vamos falar que foi sorte.
Let's hear what happened to that, because we're going to hear from an interview back to Conchita Caroline and Onyx Olympus. So let's go.
Salve a cura, tamo junto.
Ô, Bobs, essa fisioterapia é mais focada nas mãos mesmo que vocês usam, ou vocês fazem fisioterapia geral?
Gimana rasanya berhasil ngalahin Buriram United? Apakah kamu ngerasa mereka tuh masih dominan sebagaimana yang selama ini digembar-gemborkan dan ditakutkan di Asia Tenggara?
Caralho, Buriram perdeu? Eu tava emocionado aqui com as mensagens do fluxo. Camis, começa a pagar aí 27 membros da Camis aí, rapaziada. Reusique. Tô brincando, rapaziada, não cobra membro nenhum da... Fazemos fisioterapia no geral, mas o foco é nas... Opa! Fala, Saimete.
Is there any specific advice that were given by your coach, specifically when it comes to entering the third week, when everything gets more serious?
Mungkin dari segi komunikasi sih.
Oh, masih di komunikasi berarti ya. Other than that, ada lagi nggak selain komunikasi? Okay, so the main issue for Onyx is still communication between the teammates. Berarti kalau kita bahas match yang tadi baru banget selesai,
seguirei a dica do Bobs pra não ter tendinite.
Bahkan saat rotasi juga kalian selalu ada di posisi-posisi yang tepat.
Rapaziada, não é só o ganha-pão dos caras não, é ganha-pão, ganha milhões, ganha campeonatos.
Because we can see that when it comes to positioning, you guys have the upper hand. It was definitely great.
Semuanya sih, soalnya saling menyerangkan aja. Enak di sini sama enak di situ.
Oh gitu, jadi nggak ada satu yang lebih
Matheus
dominan.
da geladeira.
Berarti komunikasinya udah bagus.
Oba, Matheus da geladeira.
Poles sedikit ya.
Poles sedikit.
Okay,
nosso fisioterapeuta.
Specific shot caller when it comes to Onyx, because everything just say whatever is on their mind, and they try to do the best for each and every single one of them. So yeah, it was a team effort, which is great. So thank you so much, Crime. Good luck for the rest of the game.
Salve, Juan.
Lagi ke caster karena tentunya kita
Pô, Marcão, caralho.
Lagi di match day pertama pekan ketiga.
Pô, não ouvi o que a mulher tá falando.
Thank you for watching.
Pô, a próxima eu traduzo.
Well, it seems like, okay, I'm back. Woo! I was doing some lip reading, but yes, thank you, Conchita Caroline, and also Crime MKS. Every time we ask these teams, you know, what's the biggest challenge, they start doing some, you know, internal reflection, right? They start talking about communication issues, and I love the mentality. You know, you give the respect to your opponents, but at the same time, you also recognize your weaknesses.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the honesty out there, knowing what the weaknesses is, and that's the first thing about like fixing a flaw. You need to accept it first, and I'm pretty sure they are accepting it, and they're slowly fixing it, because this booyah means a lot. And again, I guess communication really is something that was that really helped, not only in games but in a lot of aspects as well, even in relationships. So being a team is a good relationship, and to maintain that you have to have good communication. So I mean, if they can work on it all throughout until the final day of knockout stage, they might be able to maintain their spot and grab their chance to go
30 minutos de podcast antes da quarta queda, duvido.
You know, we look at some of these players. Well, in this case,
confia nos 15 minutinhos.
You know, at a certain point,
e aí vemos no replay a não entregada da Buriram. Quer ver, ó? Nem quiseram dar replay.
Came in and then he did elevate the quality. You know, he has some highlight clips under expand at FFWS.
Manda salve pro Matheus da Geladeira aí, ô.
But alongside him, we also got Wings, right, from Onyx Olympus, who is the MVP of this game.
Mano, pior que eu mandei esse salve, é troll?
O cara joga de Santino, né?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to, I would say, to
Santino é o famoso quem me viu mentiu. Aí ele volta e mata o cara.
That I've done, that I've seen rather.
RNT, o Fora da Safe vai fazer o watch party da Liga DS?
They jump out, like, use a Santino to jump away
não sei, meu pai.
Damage, and
não sei, Marcão do Povo.
Need,
bandido brabo.
Just like this, it's not easy to really
também.
move up and down from like heights like what we've seen in Refinery. So that is one
Liga
way
DS.
to use it, but there's a lot of different ways. But let's see. Oscar has been introduced as well. Tatsuya and Oscar, this is one of the teams that really wears both rusher, but even the comment section, there's a lot of comparison between these two. Tatsuya is more
Santino é um bom personagem, pena que não é aproveitado. Não é que Santino é ruim, mano, mas tem personagens melhores. Na minha opinião, do que ele oferece pro que os outros oferecem.
Essentially, you know,
na rank tem os doentes de Santino em cima das coisas bugando mira de SKS. Tá aí, o personagem tá aí pra ser usado.
We say that, you know, the new format, the unique abilities per team, they really allow for expression of skills and creativity. Onyx Olympus now is a prime example.
Que isso, Camis, para de zicar os caras. Rapaziada que torce pra Buriram. A Camis tá se fingindo de torcedor pra zicar, tá?
I couldn't say it's late, but it's somewhat late because phase 2 is
esse time também disputa o Mundial, quem é a Onyx, que deu buia. Mas se eles passarem, eles disputam. Bom dia, chat. Quantos buias minha core memory? Ô Cutter, o dia que a core memory der o buia, a gente só fecha a live, tá ligado? Vai ter como não, mano. O servidor global da internet mundial vai explodir.
Similar to what we've seen Onyx Olympus and Buriram United done, or against Buriram United has done, leaving them 10 points.
Se o meu limite eu não consigo.
Desmerecendo a antiga AAA, Marcão do Povo. Junta tu, a Camis, a Yasmin e o Cutter aí, ó. Vocês 4 no chat. Vocês jogam melhor que a core memory.
Letra a pontuação do dia.
In terms of overall, they're tied with Team Flash, but obviously coming out on top with slightly more eliminations. GOW, despite not making top 3, still retains first spot for now.
Yeah, I mean, they have first spot. There's a reasonable, decent amount of
duas lives que você vê daqui, você vai reconhecer que a core memory é uma bosta.
aggression,
Está
I would
uma
say, the
bosta.
motivation that they had from that Booyah in game number 1, they can maintain these. But Evo's Divine, though, there's a few flaws that we've seen in
Amanhã Falcons
tactics,
joga.
probably because they've lost a few of the engagement as well, the latter part of the game. But they are feeling that fear on the early parts. But before we head over, we are looking at over standings. We have Bermuda United still on the lead, but the lead is not that far. 18 points in between them and Evo's Divine. And for RRQ, it's 26 points between them and Evo's Divine. And
Core Memory tá escondendo o jogo pra final. Na verdade, a Core Memory tá se escondendo da final. Não vai passar não, filho. 15º ali.
With 10 points by WAG.
15º com queda a mais ainda de alguns.
It's getting closer and closer in terms of the competitiveness and the points. And I think one of the main reasons is definitely our sponsor, Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. It's equipped with the next generation Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, an enhanced Falcon engine, and improved ray tracing technology, suitable for optimized gameplay and lifelike graphics. On top of that, it's also great for photography, videography, great battery life, everything that you need in a device that can get the job
Core
done.
Memory pode se considerar igual uma Savex
Yeah, definitely. It's all around. It is one of the best, if not the best, mobile phone.
Não quero falar sobre isso. Não quero falar sobre isso.
Now it's not just gaming. Everything is pretty much handheld. The world is handheld, and this is what Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra
Influência e rede Savex precisa estudar.
In our hands. But let's head over back to a game schedule.
Talvez
so
aqui
far,
diretamente de
3 games
Mocajuba.
and 2 of which has been grabbed by Indonesia.
Quando mostra mapas do dia, normalmente é que tá chegando o mapa.
Still, question remains: will Bermuda United grab a Booyah? Will Thailand grab a spot for themselves today, or will it be given to another region? Hopefully it will be the ones who haven't grabbed the Booyah just yet, but when we look at the top 3 teams in this map,
Podia ter uma season de cada país, né?
RRQ,
E tipo, o pior de cada país é o campeonato entre eles.
Jogando treino, terceira safe da Infrage, eles conseguiram morrer top 12 3 vezes. É um treino organizado pela Influence Rage, Marcão do Povo. Eles organizam o treino terceira safe e aí eles caem do top 12 3 vezes.
They've made some strides, right? But we haven't seen the strong finish that we wish to see. The closest they came to was round number 2, and even then, that was shut down.
Não vou comentar.
Hopefully, you know, we see them really wake up in the second leg of today, as we now will gear up to head into round number 4.
Yeah, we're going to fly in to our next map.
Quem? Tô falando, bateram cabeça hoje, vamos Tailândia. 15 minutinhos.
Tá doido pra tomar um silenciado, né, cura?
Você é minha cura, jura que tu não vai abandonar.
We are still feeling the favors from the RNG gods.
It's still very forgiving, although teams that want to go a bit down south is going to take a bit of a longer journey. It seems like EVOS will go to Graph Labs anyway.
Bom dia ali no
BTR taking Intellect Center, BRU and Museum. That's just the common drops, no overlaps. GOW pretty close to Todak, but they each have their own areas that they respectively like.
Yeah, let's see if these connections to the area that they have, especially familiarity, will work to their favor. Onyx Olympus right now, the Booyah takers from earlier, will be, well, probably meet up with Team Expand. This is the first time that they travel towards that area, the moment that they dropped in.
Final da Del Rey, 4 horas, e a grandíssima final da Supercopa fora da safe, 19 horas.
On the other side, and another one on this side, Wings will be able to spot them. But First Blood has been dealt with, and it has not translated to a wipeout just yet.
Yeah, it's going to be BRU getting that first point. VSJ losing Joel, instantly revive. Gardu also getting revived. It seems like the conflict has already started despite a very peaceful drop from all of the teams. Onyx Olympus seeing expand on their radar. Adam, the main support is a 1v2. Luki tries to fight back, but Zyro ends up getting that knockdown anyways. Adam will just be there to pick up the scraps, and Onyx Olympus secures themselves their first point.
Meu Corinthians não tá na final da Del Rey.
The trust on Cyru, just rushing in, not really minding the shots on him, but Faiz will be taken down as well. And well, it's looking good for Onyx Olympus. I love I would say the fluidity that they have right now. They're not really going that aggressive, but they just want to get all those elimination on the bat. But for Expand right now, a chance to take down BTR. But it is
enterrar a carreira é uma coisa muito forte. Tem que ter muita lenha para queimar ainda.
Some revive, so maybe they will find a second breath of life in this situation. Drian still has some resource to work with. And Wings going down means that Onyx Olympus now will have to be the ones to deal with BTR.
Yeah, let's see if Wings will be able to recover. But here comes the jump and the backstab.
Ali a maldição do Buia.
Crime MKS shot from afar.
Buia mais top 12.
Once again, Buia, then a no.
O combo lendário.
Salve, Guilherme Moraes.
That's how the cookie crumbles. In the meantime, Team Flash off a good start. 4 points already. And Toda doesn't seem like they're in a position to fight anyway, so Team Flash gets to cut through boxing gym for free.
Trabalhando no home office, tem uma tela separada fora da safe. É uma honra, meu querido.
He's just containing himself in this area, inside a container, but then might have a whip of him. Feed is still showing Team Flash going in for the trap against traps. Such irony for this guy.
So that's the freebie that we talked about. Team Flash, 5 points. And now they have a clear path forward, right? They get to take a breather. They get to, stock up a little bit at boxing gym. It's quite a
o único time que não tem zica do Buia é o Flux.
And Huang sees all of them right in front. It could be a good opportunity to get a couple to pick off. Far as we know, Core Memory, not the kind of team that likes to fight, unlike their former selves back in Attack All Around where they were world champions, or at least some of them were, the organizations, the identity has definitely shifted, making some rookie mistakes that we saw in round 1 and 2. Let's see how they handle Team Flash.
Yeah, I guess it's a loss of Climax 7 as well, that information that gives them that push to really be aggressive. But as you can see right now, Death and Team Flash tries to rush in, but they slowly going down. Core Memory fighting back well, but for how long? Because the rest of the teams of Team Flash will be in this area.
Fala, nego, da Core Memory, fala.
Core Memory at this point, but ABCD just going solo right now. Wang M from a distance tried to help, but it didn't work.
So Core Memory survives 7 points, gets an instant revive. This time they've made adjustments. It's Toda actually getting a snipe from afar. Jojo's getting a good one. Good shot in. Instant revive to make sure the CRM is ready to receive the hit. You see they're trying to keep Toda out. Those glue walls creating a bit of a cover. Toda now right at the front doors. Here comes the nade bouncing in. Fogi puts up a glue wall. Noki it knocking in front. Trap around the corner. CRM now surrounded.
We'll see if that M79 will work for them up close and personal. It might miss.
Purgatory
right now putting up all those glue walls and also the AoE damager that he has on his hands. Todak unable to break through Core Memory just yet. So I guess Core Memory is not yet lost in terms of tactics, but I think I spoke too soon. Poker and then Jump has been taken down. Fun and Folky tries to survive, and from afar it is Jojo who is putting so much in terms of letting them get all those eliminations.
Seu problema é acreditar nesses bagre aí,
filho. But one managed to survive.
And BTR gets a full revive.
Mas ali foi azar, eles ganharam 4v4, chegou o time.
WAG now up against Expand. This is a very important fight, especially for Expand. The coach just called them the sleeping giants,
Meu compromisso
for them to really show that they have been slumbering all this while.
É com pesar nada core memory.
See if this is something that they can finish as well. One elimination already, but Expand right now under rotation. Drian has been trained, and Alan right now is just all in at this point. Expand slowly trickling down to only one, and Lucky will not be that lucky, but the chase is still on for Kirin. This might be risky for this guy, but I don't see anyone going in for that hit. Vending machine helps him to revive Afik, but where will Afik be going?
Volta nunca pra essa
has been
bomba.
taken down, and we are on the second to the third phase. Not so much of real estate to work with.
At least Expand keeps themselves in the running, right? Play for placements. Oh, Dev getting his ankle shot. And Todak picks up another one. So there's 4 points already for the Swordfishes around Mud side. Circles can start closing in. They could also intercept GOW if they stay here a bit longer. And I think they will, right? They use the binoculars. They spotted out multiple members of GOW. In fact, they pinged the whole team of GOW.
Yeah, let's see if who will win. Will it be the Wolves or will it be the Swordfishes? And I guess they both have a few advantage, but if it's for me, for Todak, they just need to wait, and GOW will be running out in the open unless a launch pad will be used and flying above them, and that is where they will need to be careful. But I don't think GOW will be using that and wasting resources just for an escape. There's still a chance for them to go for a flank and tank this blue because it doesn't hurt on second phase.
Yeah, at least for now, teams can again take it slow. I have Visaka Srivijaya right in front of Todak, right? They have some decisions to make. And I think there's already been fire. I believe it's by Todak themselves. So Visaka Srivijaya, let's see if they intend to stay and take on Todak, because Swordfishes, they are spreading out. It seems like a 2-2 formation as of now. Traps will be the one that's willing to take first contact.
Yeah, I mean, Traps has been too aggressive most of the time, being lost away from the rest of the team, but hopefully he doesn't get caught by Visaka Srivijaya. That drop on that monster truck might have been a loss for information for Visaka Srivijaya. They will be spotted, they will be hunted a bit, but I don't think they will be challenged that much because Todak is still busy with finding where GOW will be traversing, and they want to get those elimination.
Oh yeah, and just off of that itself, Todak are willing to stall this out, right? Like Visaka Srivijaya, I think they feel very comfortable holding that spot. Obviously, if Todak advances any deeper, they might be caught between VESJ and GOW.
Não falou Jaya não, falou Srivijaya.
GOW relocated, Expand with a full
Srivijaya é esse
he got revived earlier and he pays it
back.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I was thinking that Afik would be lost, especially with how the rest of the teams were pushed earlier, but I guess he just needed that time, and it worked for them. For Evo's Divine, they are just waiting one elimination on them, but they
Flamengo
found
campeão da Del Rey hoje, 4 buias, ou da Supercopa.
But it is Borem United who's going for the finisher. It is Moshi from afar, and Evo's Divine might have spotted them as well. So a three-way, make that four-way battle might be ensuing in a bit. The only question is who will survive.
See, GOW also, let's see how involved they want to be. We even see Vamos off screen, right, dealing with both Expand and BTR. Obviously, Expand is not having a good time.
6:30, tamo online com countdown.
Up on the northern side, they are going to run straight into Vamos with their vehicle. You can even hear the engine roar, right, the faint engine roar. WAG up against Team Flash. It's a Vietnamese derby right now. And Team Flash on the low ground. The glue was on WAG, blocking up the line of sight. WAG could actually plan a counterattack onto Team Flash. They're going to take the launch pad first to rotate away.
But I think
Tá
they will
achando
be
que é fácil
going
assim virar DM,
into
pai?
so much open space, so much crosshair on them, and they need to rush. X4 has gone down, but he needs to be picked up. Not so much of a Tiva to help them recover that quickly, but I guess they're making way. Todak right now. Noki being too close for comfort needs to back away. AC80 didn't really put us that much, and brings in that Bison. Hopefully, this engagement will pay Todak more of the points, but we know it's WAG. They won't be backing away.
If there's anyone that wants point, WAG is one of the teams, and in fact, I feel like as bad as Todak wants it, WAG wants it even more. Now they see Todak crossing into the other building. Alan relaying all that information to the rest of his team. WAG not even making much contact, right? They minimize any sort of risk. Now they get to play from behind as a third
Amigão, se você quiser ver.
Well, they really have to back away because it's really getting tight.
Torcida da Buriram comemora o top 11.
And we have 10, make that 9.
Aê, rapaziada, valeu Camis, zicando a Buriram. Até a Core Memory tá mais viva que a Buriram. 11 kills pros caras e vão cair agora.
All this engagement and Core Memory, another team from Thailand, being eliminated by Team Flash. Aggression overall.
Tchau, Core Memory.
Você zica os caras mesmo, né, Renago?
A zica é quem tá entre. O problema tá entre o celular e os caras, mano. Só os dedinhos nervosos, 11 kills, morre top 10. Vou nem falar quem tá dentro da safe. Só esperando pra brilhar. Tela ele, produção. Tela ele. Aí ele aí, ó. Reja.
Probably most of the teams who is surrounding them, and it's GOW as well close to them.
Ai,
But there's no
Bigtron.
stopping. But one Kyong has managed to get through. The rest will try to make way, and Evo's Divine right now. I don't think that will be much of a challenge. They want to get all those team twos out in the open.
Let's see how Evos breaks this down, right? They made it this far.
Exato, não ziquei ninguém. A culpa não é minha que a Core Memory é time ruim.
And now they found themselves in a position where they can actually start vouchering for these points. They got Kyong just alone on the roof. He's not going to be a threat. Evos can even take him out if they spot him. Toda against Masaka 3 Vijaya. Trap trying to break down the blue wall. Garu peck around the corner. Doesn't find much damage.
Blue walls.
Still fairly healthy. As he now is going to have the help of his team to break down the blue walls. Guns down in the red as the blue starts closing in. It is crunch time for these teams. They try to block off Toda to let the blue do the job, but it's just not enough. Toda's firepower a bit too overwhelming as these defenses start collapsing. Just like Masaka 3 Vijaya, Toda blowing right through and claiming 8 points.
And that is saving on the glue wall melters. But let's see if Todak will be able to do the same against the rest of his Vijaya. Into corner they do, and there's a wipeout. Zodak, I guess they have that motivation. Faiz, though, the only one surviving after those nades being thrown in. And I guess that is a launcher coming from Jan Vinstrogan. 5 teams remaining, but we're only seeing 2. GOW still aggressive at this point, and Faiz will not be seen that easily. But when it comes to firepower in terms of numbers, Zodak will be at a loss, down to 3, and make that down to 2. The same, the usual
telando o homem, telando ele. De lado pro outro. De lado pro outro, move. VKS em mãos. AVG, você já sabe. Tem 9 vivos. Quem que vai deitar? Não.
While looking for the back-to-back, Evos Divide with instant rotation down to where the circle is going to be. Obviously, they make it very early, so they gotta tank some of the damage first.
E a safe chupetou antes pra pegar os caras no...
Turns around and gets blasted by Demon. The timing could not have been worse. They pick M-God back up, but now they gotta start holding off the fort.
Levantou, pistola de cura.
So far, finding no luck. The Riptide actually stops. The Kyong tries to backstab Demon, but Demon
Agora
has
sim.
eyes everywhere, taking out Kyong, and
Agora
now he
sim é o
gets a free,
sincero.
fair 4v4.
That is M82B action. coming from Demon, and he is really showing up. He's really showing off, rather, at this point on the sniper, up close and even from afar. But POW might be in trouble. They need to get in second floor, and M79 coming from Ray, plus AC80 that he has on his hand, and Demon will be going down from the hands of Razia and Evo's Divine.
Ai, comemora. É ele. A VG é o cara. Raja.
Goes into the other side just to distract and throw off the tactics, but Evo's Divine is ready to go full blow.
Os caras tão...
a bit of an error from GOW. I can see the plan, but the crux, the linchpin of the plan was also the biggest Achilles heel. It was the weak point.
Ah, bom. Ah, bom.
The fight with the man disadvantage, but either
O cara
way,
ia se lançar lá pro meio da...
get the second Booyah of the evening.
Do guys.
Drop down to the first floor. Evo is willing to play this slow and steady. They're gonna rush in with the Tatsuya turnaround, catching ton of guards. So well done by Ray, and he cleans up a second. Yanmin gets picked off, and Evo's Divine with superior execution gets themselves second Booyah.
The second Booyah of the day.
Bati, galera.
It's back to back Indonesia overall. When we thought we will be brought back to Vietnam and to Seoul, I guess fans out there will have another chance to see Conchita Caroline in our interview. And I just love it from Evo's Divine. They want to break that record, if not tie it up.
And then there's no better time to keep up the run, right? To maintain a record, to repeat a record. It is in the final week of phase number 1. Evo's Divine again. They basically took advantage of the weak points of GOW. The plan was very obvious, but it also, exposes Demon out into the open, and GOW probably kicking themselves after, reviewing this round when they start thinking back about it, putting themselves in a disadvantaged position, and Evo's knowing that they have the manpower, knowing that they have the numbers, just executed perfectly. Like this rush from AimGod with the Tatsuya, it was, GOW was just not ready to respond.
Yeah, AimGod was the bait. The rest of the teams of Evo's Divine is just on the second floor. They are ready to jump with that launch pad, but AimGod says, no, we're going to back away, go for the stairs, went in for elimination, and it just went bam, 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 and booyah. Evo's Divine grabs it once again.
Just, again, very well done from the side of Evo's Divine, and this is exactly what we want to see, right? Evo's Divine, like you look back, in history, Evo's Divine at one point has been to almost the top, right? They almost were the one that brought back the EWC trophy for Free Fire. They came that close, if not for that historical 40 bomb by Team Falcons, where Evo's Divine would have been world champions at one point. So they want to reach that point again, and of course it starts with trying to win the CE Spring and then head to EWC, which is happening in July. But if this is the Evo's Divine we see, and this is the Evo's Divine that we can expect 2 months down the road, I think they have a good shot.
Yeah, definitely a good shot indeed, and then prestige overall will be taken by Evo's Divine if this continues on. And it will not be just the usual team overall. We keep saying Brave United, we keep seeing Team Falcons.
Recuperou os 1000.
Well, though they are not playing, we don't see them that often.
But
like Evo's Divine is a one that disrupts that cycle. The same goes with RRQ. But let's head over to Indonesia and hear the interview as well. So welcome, Conchita Caroline.
Masuk.
Thank you, casters, and that is it. Another booyah for Evo's Divine. I'm here with Kojel. You look so happy, obviously. Kelihatannya seneng banget nih kayaknya Kojel. Kita ngobrol-ngobrol dikit ya. Oke, jadi yang mau aku tanyain adalah ini kan jelas banget nih. Kalian sudah menemukan ritme permainan di minggu ini. Apakah kamu yakin bisa mempertahankan momentum ini? Aku translate dulu ya. It's obvious to see that you guys have found the right rhythm this week. Do you think you can keep the momentum going?
Bisa.
Biasanya apa sih yang bikin sulit banget untuk mempertahankan
momentum? É óbvio que é notável que vocês pegaram o ritmo certo, vocês vão conseguir manter?
Gak ada. Nothing.
Yang penting ya disiplin aja.
Oh, okay. So it's just discipline. He thinks that one of the hardest thing for him to do to keep the momentum going is just to be disciplined. And that's the thing that they're trying to work on right now. Okay. Ada
A palavra é disciplina. Para manter, a gente tem que ser disciplinado.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the team that haven't successfully secured a booyah this week, especially from the other countries?
Buat BTR.
Oh!
Tem algo a dizer aos times que não deram buia?
Bigatron? Okay.
Boyain aja. Boyain dulu.
Buyahin dulu.
Yeah.
Oke. Ini aku bingung nge-translate-nya gimana ya, buyahin aja ke dalam bahasa Inggris. Okay, so basically what he said to Bigatron was like, just give the booyah, just have the booyah. Okay, kalau buat fans, anything you'd like to say to the fans of EVOS Divine who has
Ele foi falar pra Bigatron, fala assim, Bigatron, pelo amor de Deus, dá buiazinho aí, vocês estão ruim.
Yang udah dukung EVOS Divine, dukung terus sampai kelar FFWS ya.
Aww, he's saying thank you to all the fans that has been supporting EVOS Divine. Please keep on supporting them and
obrigado aos quem tá torcendo, continuem.
Thank you so much, Coach Al. Congrats. Dan sekali lagi semangat terus. Kita akan lempar sekarang kepada para casters. Take it away, casters.
Take it away, casters.
And there we have it. We've seen another booyah from EVOS Divine, and the confidence from the team to really show up. There's not so much that is troubling them, and they have that momentum on their side. And I won't be surprised if they will take that #1 spot, because the ones who have that #1 spot after the last week is not really showing up. Only 4 points in between them for EVOS Divine to grab it.
And you know, EVOS Divine, they really locked in today, right? They got 2 booyahs, but even the rounds that they didn't show up too much, EVOS Divine made sure that their presence was felt. And I think this round 4 felt particularly different because they went into the later phases of the game without much eliminations in their back, right? They were just surviving, making rotations. You see them go to Deco Square. You see them go through, come through the southern side of the boxing gym. But when push comes to shove, EVOS Divine, they just come online and they start racking in numbers. Once more, Russia, just puts in the work and gets things done. Second MVP for him today.
Yeah, you did mention not taking any points, not really racking up so much. Who does that remind you? It's Buriram United. Buriram United does the same thing, and I guess it's the good emulation that EVOS Divine is doing. They are emulating their biggest or toughest opponent and putting their own twist into it. And it is working. It is working for them. Razia, our MVP, the wonder kid, the sniper of the team, and the usual sniper build, and Aim God, the rusher with that Shani and Tatsuya, Cassie for backup or support for Coach Shield, with that Olivia and Nativa, together with that Joseph, and 8124 additional rush, I would say, with a sniper in the mix. Ray, though, is really mixing up those skills on his back.
And he's able to make all of them work so far, right? You look at Kotu, sure, 0 eliminations, but he has 5 assists under his name. And sometimes you need a good backbone, and he is kind of that backbone that I think, EVOS Divine needs. And the best part is that Russia, he's the sniper, but he's the one that's locking in the eliminations for his team. This very all-rounded squad of EVOS Divine is showing us that they can be multifaceted.
Yeah, I mean, definitely they can change it a little bit. They can move
Já foi pelo menos 3 quedas, já foram 4 quedas, filhão.
Noki
Respeita a
taking
Tailândia,
the spotlight at this point on the key player, 5 elimination and a 3,113. That's what Noki has brought in from Todak, as Falky from core memory with 8 assists on his bag, and it's good as well. The Todak has been trying so much and trying their best to survive, but well, it came too late. At this point, I think they have the decent amount, or the best, I would say, for the day, because Todak grabbed 17 eliminations, tied with BTR as well as GOW. But for EVOS Divine, because of that slow start and they grabbed that booyah, they only got that 19 elimination, or 19 points in total.
Yeah. Either way, I think this round is a bit more you know, a bit more all-rounded for everyone else.
Falcons não tá jogando amanhã.
Gets like a monstrous amount of points.
Como tem 3 grupos só, rapaziada, todo dia que algum grupo, que algum time não estiver jogando, no próximo eles vão jogar.
BTR, GOW, all getting 17 apiece. But Vamos so far still waiting for them to show up. They haven't really done so just yet. As you take a look at the overall standings,
always come back in last. I doubt it, bro. I doubt it.
If they keep this up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the team of the day, an extra $250. Why not? Why not take it? Even if mine is on the roll
que chegou agora 700 pessoas, deixa primeiramente seu like, segundo deixa comentário, manda bom dia, pede salve. Live da Tailândia, resenha máxima, quiser deixar pix GG, bom também. A VG precisa recuperar Milão, que ele perdeu por ter usado numa aposta inteligentíssima. Vambora.
Because of the 4-point lead that they need to get, but if Bermuda United play the same in the next map of Purgatory, it might be a chance for Eagles to jogar na função do Joena.
Yeah, I think, you know, they are
se ele só encaixa na função do Joena, eu não sei, mas que ele não encaixa na função do Get High, eu tenho certeza.
And they're making this happen. They've overtaken BRU in terms of total booyahs. The only thing separating them, the 2 points, were from eliminations.
Se a Buriram tá mal com o Get High, sendo totalmente o suporte esquece do time, botar o The Cruz que não tá acostumado piorou.
And the days are running quite fast, quickly, I would say, similar to what we've seen. And I don't know what's with this. Probably it's the excitement of finishing Phase 1, but we're going to go for a quick break. When we return, we go in for map number 5 and that random map. So don't go away. Keep liking the stream. We'll be right back.
In the ultimate test of skill and strategy, only the strongest will survive.
Vai ser banido, Alan. Tu vai ser banido.
Ai, ai.
Ó o homem aí. Falaram que ele não tava aí.
Salve, Ítalo. Tamo junto. Que isso, Smithzinho?
E a Kami só rindo. Tá, oh, é foda. Veja, comprei um óculos igual o seu não, mas retangularzinho assim. Vai chegar. Caralho, VG. Semana que vem não vai ter, né, Tailândia pra nós. Senão a gente fica morto.
Divided into 3 groups, A, B, and C, with 6 teams each. 3 weeks, 54 intense matches. Daily format. Group A versus Group B versus Group C. Top teams advance, the rest are eliminated. Phase 2, May 16 till June 11, 2025. One misstep and you're out. Week 4, only the strong survive. Day 1, top 12 from Phase 1 compete in 6 matches. Only one team advances to the grand final. Day 2 and 3, the remaining 11 teams battle alongside underdogs ranked 13th and 14th. One winner per day advances to the finals. Week 5, second chances. Days 1, 2, and 3, the same format continues. Underdogs ranked 15th to 17th. Each day crowns a new finalist. Week 6, the last chance. The final 11 teams, as well as the 18th team, compete across.
Mano, eu não acho que seja 378 mil dólares americanos. Eu acho que são outros dólares. Tem que ver.
Clash Squad mode.
Ah não, 100 mil dólares, ó. 100 mil dólares pro primeiro, 40 segundo. Caralho. Caralho. 100 mil pro primeiro. Não, é 378 total.
Welcome back to the Free Fire World Series Southeast Asia Spring League. This is week 3, day 1.
Comemora torcedor da WAG.
Phase number 1. You're with me, Husky, alongside
Não quero zicar minha Evos Divine, então vou zicar outro.
And of course, right off the bat, we gotta remind you guys to take a chug of Red Bull because it not only gives you wings, they are also a part of our official energy drink sponsor, not just for the spring season, but also for the fall season of 2025. It comes in a variety of flavors. You can pick and choose what you like, and then take a swig of it. You'll grow wings, and then you can perform in and out of the game.
Yeah, speaking of wings, I mean, the teams are really getting their wings out here because of Red Bull, because everything is just running so smoothly, so fast.
Torcida da Burirã vai descobrir onde você mora, Camis. Torcida organizada Burirã aí, diretamente do Espírito Santo. Tem uma concentração também em Santa Catarina, vai todo mundo juntar aí. Tem uma denúncia, VG. Aliás, eu vou falar com a HH. Calma aí.
Fewer early engagement, but when it comes to mid game to end to the end or the final match, final stretch, that's where everything just paces a little bit faster from before, and it's throwing some of the teams, BRU, out in their tactics.
Yeah, BRU really having a rough day. 4 rounds in, and the best they've got is round 3, right? They made it top 2. They got dropped by Onyx Olympus. Round 1 wasn't all too shabby, but it was a mix of a good round, no points, good round, no points, right? And you wouldn't expect that to be what BRU shows, but so far it has been the case. If we follow the pattern, hopefully in the last map of Purgatory, they are going to have a good round. But some teams have been on fire. BTR, Evo's Divine, WAG, even Team Flash and GOW have had a good day so far.
Yeah, definitely consistency coming from Evo's Divine as well as GOW, and that Booyah from Onyx Olympus. That really is something that we are looking forward to more, like them doing more. But Nimesh, let's see if Bermuda United will go for a comeback. It would be, I would say, fortunate for the other teams if they don't, but we know how Bermuda United is. They just want to let it low, a little bit slower, and then later on, that's where they hype it up.
Burirã tá só cumprindo tabela, duvido que esses caras...
Evo's Divine manages to take the first spot, which I think right now
todo mundo que tá jogando aí, mano, todo jogador profissional. Duvido que algum joga pra passar vergonha. Ai, estamos jogando mal pra esconder o jogo. Fala isso pra um Bobs, fala isso pra um Noda. Ai, vocês vão jogar mal, vocês vão passar vergonha no dia pra esconder jogo. Ah, filho, o técnico sai do time no outro dia. Esses caras são muito... Como é que chama? Não é ego, não sei a palavra, mano. Ela tá na ponta da língua. Mas jamais isso ia acontecer. Os caras querem dar o 100% toda hora. Esconder uma tática, beleza. Mas eles não vão jogar pra perder nunca.
Has been that determining factor that has brought them that 4 Booyahs from the other week, and then more that will be happening for this week.
Ganância,
so let's see if this continues
ambição,
on for them. We also have
essas duas palavras aí, ó.
Looking forward to performing
competitivo,
a little bit better,
tudo.
But I don't
a vida dos caras é jogar Free Fire. Vocês acham que eles vão chegar, treinar a semana inteira, segunda, terça, quarta, quinta, pra chegar na sexta? Ah, não. Vamos trollar aqui, propósito. Fazer 20 pontos em 5 quedas e vai ficar tudo bem.
The spirits are still up, right? I remember we went through the whole process, the whole conversation of that day is actually way longer than anyone else out there thinks, you know, like the viewer thinks that they just show up and play 6 rounds, and you forget the fact that they have to show up for call time and then get prepped. It's a very long and tiring day. You know, we look at WAG stat, right? They are ranked 7 and on average, decent numbers. But for BRU, this is where you start to see a bit of a shift in expression. Usually they are very carefree, but right now they realize the gravity of not performing for 4 rounds straight.
Yeah, I mean, that is really what they're feeling right now. But for BTR, so far, I mean, aggression overall for 3 out of 4 matches that we've seen, or made that all out of 4. They have gathered a total points of 10 above. So consistency is on them. They're not really losing that much in terms of momentum. That's just that some of the gunfights that they're taking are quite questionable because of the opening that they should have been taking, and then for some instance, once they rush in, they will be caught off guard by a different team. So it's quite a loss, even as far as them already getting advantage of or eliminating entire squad. But for players head-to-head, let's look at Dian and Ray, 3 and 2, as well as the damage, more geared towards Dian, as well as the headshot. So GOW, they are really popping off, especially with Dian in the mix. They're MVP from their Booyah.
Yeah, like both of them actually, today's stat, it doesn't look very, very flashy, but there's nothing that, there's nothing that, you look at the stats and you think to yourself, they are not having impact, right? I think there's a lot of things there's nothing that we can't really glamorize about
Essa Evos aqui nem golfinho.
Like, he's been the silent
não é a mesma Evos que você viu ano passado, pai. Aquela Evos nem golfinho, nem subia pra descer. Essa aí,
games that we've seen,
confia.
But just a quick recap, the top 3 most used character active skills, we got Tatsuya in first, of course, followed by Cassie and the Skylar, and I think this is going to be the case for a long time down the road.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most of the teams, if you have a Tatsuya, it will be backed by Cassie, and definitely a Skylar for that for the snipers. Now, there has been a change in one of the active skill. Coda has been replaced, or some of the Codas has been replaced by the Oscar. Thus, it like threw off that balance. But in terms of passive, Joseph really has been very viable in most of the engagement, as well as Nairi. And then Moko will be in there again. The addition of the sniper, a sniper skill that would
Who's your favorite teams in Southeast
most
region?
Of the engagement. So
Evo's
nothing
Divine.
Has changed so much. Characters, skills
and
out
nothing
there
else.
has been played around with other teams.
I cheer only for Evo's Divine, bro.
Arvin in these numbers.
No, it's too strong.
Every other team can go fuck themselves.
Yeah. At one point, game mechanics, you gotta introduce some new stuff. Like, before Arvon was a thing, we have a lot of Dreki, right? Like, you're near glue wall, you're healing up, people see you. Arvon gets introduced, now you got a global GPS, you can track people down. Like,
Dois campzinhos hoje além desse, tudo final.
And any utility, any ability
Renagol podia traduzir a queda todinha pra nós, não.
Be at the top of the list, because information is king. That's how people win games most of the times.
Yeah, definitely. Information is king. Now, for those of you viewers out there, hopefully you're enjoying the match and the matches that we've seen so far. I know there's a little bit of delay, and I guess some viewers have caught up with how fast it has been, and we are giving a chance to stretch it a little bit. So don't fret. We are
O cara tá falando que vocês podem notar que teve um atraso, mas além disso deu para notar também que hoje foram todas rápidas até agora.
To like the stream. Don't forget to share the stream as well. So far, we have been doing well in a daily performance in that regards.
Fala, Gazinho.
Don't forget to comment and
you'll be happy. Evos is playing good in this tournament.
There's a lot of conversation that has been happening that you might be missing out.
Yeah, I felt like we jinxed it. We called it a
Reja
fast day.
is my favorite player right now.
We're used to this. I got no complaints at all because majority of the times we don't really get enough airtime, enough space to really go in depth into a lot of these teams. There's too many things to go through, but every once in a while it's great to look back at the journey some of these teams and players have taken, right? And then you realize, like, if there's a history books, if there's an archives of Free Fire, there's gonna be so much to go through. And I remember, like, we had our good friend Gideon. He stepped into Free Fire.
Yeah, Reja.
2-3 years ago, just dabble in it. And then I remember sitting down and trying to go through the history of competitive Free Fire since the first MCP, and I realized that we have come a long, long way.
O garoto eu quero ser só pra mim. Que é da sua meio-dia agora.
Yeah, I mean, 5th on that elimination, and he is just like has been introduced.
Mas agora que não é, os caras estão todos trocando ideia assim.
He had been performing before he hit age, and now that he has, it's just showing up. So I think he's done so much more. It's just recently, it's just now that we're seeing that performance, actual performance coming from this wonder kid. But there's a lot of hopes coming from the rest of the teams as well. Team Flash, who have been so aggressive overall. For today, they've done 28 in terms of elimination, but not so much a placement point. Thus, they are being placed on 4th. So for the team captain, another player stats, it is Bermuda United Jonah.
Yeah, again, the team captain has, I think in recent times has been definitely taking a bit of a back seat in a way that it's not as active in getting those aggressive moves, right? I think that has been passed on to Wasana ever since he joined the team. But in terms of shot calling, I think he is one of the few that really set the bar insanely high for the rest of the region to follow because of how precise the movements of BRU have been and how monstrous they are individually. We used to say that every single member of BRU is their own team. And enough time has passed, enough teams have caught up. Now BRU no longer feels like that impenetrable force, right? They no longer feel like that immovable object. Teams are starting to really find a way to deal with them and match up to their level.
Yeah, I mean, you saying that, I want to go until Bermuda United wakes up, until they take the board after 2 games. So it's just something unexpected for Bermuda United, which is a good thing as well, because as you mentioned, we're getting close to EWC. That is where like they are trying to get their spot. They're trying to get their momentum in beating not only Team Falcons, who grab it from last year, but also the other regions.
Esse ano, nem ano passado, não vi ninguém falando da demora de queda no Brasil, não. Outros anos,
doido, no Brasil, é muito mais rápido.
No Brasil, inclusive, é o tempo ideal. Dá pra entrevistar o jogador no pós-queda, dá pra entrevistar o técnico antes de começar a partida, dá pro pessoal fazer o adzinho lá do Sneakers. Tudo ok.
Some veterans coming back. I think Core Memory is a very good example. But we have to also look at Evo's Divine, who are so close, 2 points away from tying up with BRU. The up and coming Wonder Kid against the
o pior é que Amador também não tá atrasando, não.
Rassia is having a way better day compared to Moshi, just because they get to play the games longer.
Emulador talvez tenha atraso, mais atraso, mas o mobile, o pessoal eles pedem muito pra os times, a união dos times mobile é muito forte, eles exigem uma organização muito boa dos campeonatos. Não faz o nível ficar bom de organização. É agora, VG, 5 minutos, a queda tá na sua tela.
A lot has emulated what Moshi has been doing. They try to do what he has been doing, but not so much in the way that he has done. Up close and personal, he can go and fight, but he takes that distance, gives information, and it's because of to whom he's getting information, thus it is being successful. If you will be a sniper that will give out information and also damage from afar, but the rest cannot follow through, you're at some point you're just wasting so much effort.
Yeah, I think it's such an important thing, especially when right now we have so many different unique approaches to the game, just because of that that unique abilities per team. We're seeing again the expression of skills, right? We no longer have every team forcing the double, triple Tatsuya and running in each other's face. That has, I feel like, in the long run, that has always been a bane of some of these more tactical teams, because they just don't thrive as much in gunfights. But now you see teams that they take it slow. GOW, you know, like RRQ is a very good example of a team that they don't really want to fight you head on, and when they're forced to do so, they struggle. But you give them enough time to cook, they win rounds.
Yeah, I mean, RRQ is another one that learned to turn things around. Previous season, that's where, well, in the previous seasons, let's go back, like RRQ is really a tough opponent to beat. It's just that it has been a trend that some teams like Bermuda United, Team Falcons has taking so much booyah, taking so much elimination, and in that regard, it made it tough for RRQ to catch up. Now that they're getting that momentum, now that they're catching up, I don't think it would be much easier for like Thailand teams and even Vietnam teams and more of the Malaysian teams to go against the tactics of Indonesia, because different tactics is working for Indonesia. Evo's Divine in the passive aggressive, for RRQ passive aggressive, but it's a different pace overall. Some are doing it quite fast, some are doing it very, very slow, but both are successful.
And that's the kind of balance we like in the competition, right? Like you don't have to.
Esse povo que tá aí, sejam bem-vindos, rapaziada. Vocês que não viram o dia que a gente teve 52 minutos de entre quedas.
And not to mention, right, Malaysia, we are the first region, I think, in SCA to start getting imports in, and we still are doing that. You know, it has elevated our standards overall. We still have a lot of work to do, but maybe that is something that other teams might start exploring in the future down the road. So hopefully that's going to be the case. I know Free Fire is going to be here for many, many years to come. There's always EWC and FFWS to look for, a global to look forward to. You know, we still, Brazil still owes us our trophy. We want it back, so we got that to look forward to end of the year.
Yeah. I mean,
aí, ó, ele meteu, o narrador meteu assim, ó, Brazil stole the trophy from us, né? O Brasil roubou o troféu de nós e vamos recuperar no final do ano. Foi o que o narrador falou aí, ó. Juraram nós de morte.
Homework, watching VODs, like identifying and studying their opponents. I think that's one thing, one key factor. Thus, Brazil was able to take that world champ trophy away from Southeast Asia. But if it goes both ways, it will be, I would say, a really, really hard to tell battle. Who's going to get the championship? Who will be getting booyahs after booyahs? Because it, like, different styles will be put in the mix, and we're talking about one team. One team having different styles, being unpredictable, would take it all.
I would never forget the 2023 FFWS, where Magic Squad took the win, and they used Skylar, which no one at that point would even consider using Skylar, right? Everyone just brushed him off as a character that's outdated. Magic Squad was the only one that brought it in, and well, as fate would have it, the Red Tide Rhythm was what won them the trophy, right? It was literally the ability that destroyed all the glue walls of BRU. But before we go on a break, because there is some tech issues we need to fix, I'm gonna give my prediction, reply to Nervik Gawali. My prediction for next WG is gonna take a booyah. We are gonna go on a short break while we fix this issue. We'll be back in just a little bit to continue with round number 5 and 6, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Eles têm problema técnico todo dia.
Se liga, se liga. O narrador falou aí, ó. A gente falou muito da AxC ano passado, VG, mas o narrador mandou que em 2023, quando a Magic Squad ganhou, pouquíssimos times ou só a Magic usava Skylar. E aí os times foram surpreendidos e foi esse um dos motivos que a Magic conseguiu sobressair sobre os outros times. Então, a gente fala muito sobre times da Tailândia ditando meta. O que o cara disse para 2023 foi o contrário.
This season's live streams will include live in-game challenges. Who will rise? Who will face punishment? Don't miss a single.
Olha o Bakigal aí, olha o Seralzeira. Seralzeira, Nobru e Freichones.
Survive or become a legend. Challenge your limits.
bom, mas não é de 3 minutos, não é de... Rapaz... Quem tá triste, continua. 5 minutos. Vambora.
Just what a hero needs. Hello, Greaser. Stop trying to look cool and help out already.
In the ultimate test of skill and strategy, only the strongest will survive. Welcome to the arena where legends are forged. To claim victory, you must challenge your limits. This season's special features. This tournament introduces exciting new challenges, unique team skills, man-picked active skills for Clash Squad mode, champion rush format, randomized map order, total prize pool $378,000 US. Warriors will battle for glory and the ultimate reward. Tournament features 2 competitive modes, Battle Royale and Clash Squad. Battle Royale, 18 teams, knockout format with 2 phases. Clash Squad, 8 teams in a Swiss stage format. Both
Eu tô te entendendo.
where champions are crowned. Knockout stage. This is where the battle begins. Survival gets real. Phase 1, April 25 till May 11, 2025. 18 teams divided into 3 groups. A, B,
Atenção, chegou Chatuba, hein?
each. 3 weeks.
Vamos esculachar.
Tense matches. Daily format. Group A versus Group B versus Group C. Top teams advance, the rest are eliminated. Phase 2, May 16 till June 11, 2025.
A qualquer momento.
One misstep and you're out. Week 4, only the strong survive. Day 1, top 12 from Phase 1 compete in 6 matches. Only 1 team advances to the grand final. Day 2 and 3, the remaining 11 teams battle alongside underdogs ranked 13th and 14th. 1 winner per day advances to the finals. Week 5.
Rapaziada, isso aí é pra voltar do intervalo, não é pra começar a queda não. Tamo junto.
The same format continues with underdogs ranked 15th to 17th. Each day crowns a new finalist.
Atenção, chegou Chatuba, hein?
Mil de pressa em outro nível. Só impossível me interessa. Sigo invicto.
Essa é braba.
No second chances. Only the worthy will rise.
Meu amor, sigo invicto. Só queria uma queda.
Key dates. Round 1, May 22. Round 2, May 29. The top
Não
4
temos
teams
nada
this
13
day advance
horas.
to the final day of Clash Squad
16
mode, which follows a
voltamos.
single elimination format.
Graças a
The
Deus.
winners gain extra preparation time for the
Você
grand
nem tá, né?
final.
16 horas?
Mas se você quiser ir, despedir da gringa.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. And
Opa,
this Free Fire
a
World
musiquinha.
Series Asia Spring
Sobe a música.
2025, and we are just waiting for the final stretch for
vai cagar, mano.
Coisa linda.
Pô, botou a musicona lá no talo, pá, vai, começa a queda.
But with all that wait, we appreciate all the commenters, all the survivors out there in the YouTube chat that has been given all the love, all those support, not only for the players, but also the casters. So me, Neptune, as well as Husky, thank all of you.
Yeah, thank you very
Chat
much.
papo
We
reto.
appreciate it.
O que vocês acham do bigodinho?
At the likes, we've already hit
Honestidade
1K.
aí.
I'm
Não
not
que
sure
vai mudar
when we
alguma
did,
coisa.
but hey, keep it going.
Podem
You know,
ser
we hit the
honestos.
consistent 1K, and then we can keep going up from here. Oh, hopefully everything has been fixed. Again, we appreciate your patience. Sometimes things do happen, and nothing is gonna ruin our love for the game.
Não, só
nor
fiz uma
our
pergunta
thirst
sincera
for the
pra
action.
VG,
In
ó,
fact,
se ele vai...
all these suspense has gotten me
Porque é o
itching
último
for
dia de
more,
Del
right?
Rey, tá
Maybe
ligado?
this is also a good break for the teams to
E
have been
aí
struggling
seria a
so
chance
far
do AVG,
to, you know, calm down, reset a little bit, you know, they got enough
entendeu?
time to meditate if they want to, and bounce back stronger.
Plot twist, teams that has been working their way but not really being successful will be grabbing the Booyah next, and probably in the random map. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see who will that be. We'll have to see if that's going to happen. But so far, again, appreciate the 1K likes. I think a lot more can be done because of the time that we have left. So why not bring it to 1.5K? 1.5K on the likes, and we'll see what will be happening in the future. There was a talk that 3K might be happening, and then a challenge from the viewers for 30K. That might be a stretch, but it will. Fans out there, survivors out there, I know you love the game. I know you love the broadcast. So let's bring in all those likes.
Yeah, I think there's an easy way to help it manifest, right? If Garena or if one of us goes out there and be like, hey, if the broadcast
Rapaz, eles estão
hits
querendo bater o
let's say,
recorde, mano.
30,000 likes, right?
40 minutos.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna hit
Tropa da
30,000 likes for
Pampulha
sure.
sempre presente.
100%. But I don't know what the challenge is gonna be. We need some time to think it through, right? Like last time I was working on a separate broadcast, and I remember I made a bet, and I was like, if Team A doesn't win, or Team A like drops the game or something, I would drink hot sauce. And the original plan was to drink it when the broadcast is about to end. The next day I got to the studio, they were like, hey, we got a pre-show, and we would like you to drink hot sauce during the pre-show. So it's these kind of things that I really appreciate.
Ei,
We get to engage with the
Tailândia,
people out there,
começa a
but yes, keep the
partida.
lights
Ei,
maybe we are
Tailândia,
gonna be made
começa
to
a
do things that we
partida. Pelo
initially
amor
want to
de
do, but we
Deus.
will do it anyways. Let's take a look at the game schedule.
Yeah, I mean, as we look at the game schedule, well, the challenge has been brought into the
Porra, vai começar, mano. Quando mostra os mapas é que vai começar nessa caralho.
There's a lot more because of all the twists and turns and surprises that has been brought in by Free Fire, and that's why we love all this broadcast. But so far, who's loving this board? It is Indonesia. Who's loving it more? It is Evo Divine. 2 Booyahs out of 4, and Indonesia grabbed 3. GOW, well, they came very close to grab a second one, but on Purgatory, we are looking at Team Falcons, Brave United, and Team Flash to be topping the board. But who's following them? It is GOW. So a consistent team for today might be showing up once again.
Yeah, hopefully, man. I really do hope that, because I mean, after what we saw so far in the first 4 rounds, I think BRU's numbers are gonna get, you know, skew a little bit, right? They might fall out of top 3 just because of that. So this is another chance for them to redeem themselves, keep themselves on the list, you know, not get overtaken by anyone else. Team Flash also, they've been really, you know, hovering around the
Del Rey vai ser
middle
full louco
part
também,
of the
rapaziada.
entire day.
Totalmente
Hopefully,
louco.
this is their chance to get us back to Vietnam, or maybe GOW gets the second Booyah. Either way, I'm ready. It's time to hop into Purgatory for round number 5.
Não
Let's see if the
acredito.
teams can bounce back after that break.
Sobe musiquinha, vem avião.
And here we go.
Purgatório.
Dropping in to game number 5.
Deu tempo nem de ir no banheiro. E já começou a queda.
What's about to happen in terms of the flight path, it is quite favorable to everyone. In terms of drop spot, though, that is the biggest question. Will there be any hot drop that will be happening for this map? Because so far there has been a few that changed their ways just to get away from harm, but for GOW, I think they are taking the challenge. Visaka Sriwijaya will be their target.
I mean, look at Ski Lodge, right? Expand, Todak, BTR. They all love these areas, especially for the Malaysian teams like BTR. Usually they would still drop Force and then they will rotate to Ski Lodge. But for Expand and Todak, they are right beside each other. And this is not a good sign because there's a good chance that BTR ends up cleaning them up. And as I say that, Noki gets his back shot. And BTR now, they spotted the prey. You are incredibly helpless when you are hanging around Ski Lodge. The thing that Expand can hope right now is that Todak and BTR, they engage and then Expand gets ignored.
Hey, let's see if that is the case right now, if Expand will be getting away, because as you can see on the minimap, one of the players is trying to block their exit on Ski Lodge, but Noki right now, because of his performance overall from the previous map, I think he will not be backing out from that engagement. And he's managed to take a few of those HP from afar on BTR, but for core memory going against Team Flash, this will probably take longer than expected because core memory doesn't have that opening to go against this team.
Dia que você vê a gente narrar negócio.
Let's see core memory. This is if there's any time to redeem, this is one of it. The second last opportunity against Team Flash. Both of them are looking for some sort of
Ele tá fazendo charme, eu creio.
O cara me vem, depois de 40 minutos de atraso, perguntar uma baboseira dessa. Não me controlei.
Yeah, I'm laughing at Jump's skin right now because he has that sleeping, but he won't be sleeping. Exclamate action to take down one player, and the follow-up will be done to the stairs right now. This is the time that they've been waiting for, but Pone was able to take down the Zom as well. A core memory will try to reach that second floor. Double vector in hand, up close and personal will be deadly, but Wang An backstab on him, unsuspecting of that jump, and I am referring to jump coming from this team of core memory.
Hong An straight up just full send just to get an extra point. He knew that he was going to go down anyways. It was a risk that, I mean, he was forced to take. Fortunately, didn't really yield much reward. Todak now about to get punished by Luki, who is on that high ground. Look at that vantage point. Such a sweet spot to work with in the early game. And Todak, they might not have any choice but to run Luki, taking out Jojo with a retired rhythm and a couple of shots to the back. This should be a free point unless he can crawl to safety. But it seems like he will make it to safety. Unfortunately, the medigun can only keep him alive for so much. So Trap makes the call to abandon his teammate and let Expand take the point.
Yeah, let's see though if this is something that they can work on. They have 1 point already. Expand still in front of them. Noki
Emulador é uma modalidade que não deveria existir, na minha opinião.
He'll be waltzing in around.
Ainda bem que é a sua opinião.
Tá aí. Uma ótima opinião.
Ensured that they get that 1 point. A Fick though has been knocked down, and Traps finish it off with that AK.
Yeah, and Todak really on the rough spot. Jojo
Na minha opinião, a Natália Rodrigues não devia existir.
Meet their demise. So this is all on him, and there is members of Saka Sriwijaya nearby. This Joel who also had got taken down very early on, pretty much bare naked at this point.
Let's see if Jojo will make some bizarre moves in this adventure. But so far, Onyx Olympus will be the ones putting a challenge on GOW. We've highlighted GOW so much, but Crime MKS just jumped on him and managed to get away. But Demon will have nowhere to go. Shots on him coming from Crime MKS. The duo right now, I think they will be able to finish them off. And Zairu for the finisher.
Good stuff. Triple for Zairu. Onyx Olympus getting 4 points to boot. They might have a marker on Adam.
Fire, tô zoando.
Shouldn't be too worried.
Falei pra ver se vocês viram o comentário. Ah, tá. Natália Rodrigues poderia existir, né, nego?
Poderia. Como se a gente não lesse nenhum comentário aqui.
Falei só brincando. Tipo esse comentário daquele cara ali, ó. Olha os homens no foco. Esse cara.
Os homens no foco. Não, esse aí,
Ainda
pra
bem
mim...
que existe, né? Tal de
But
TTzito.
Evo is divine, keeping silent, similar to what we've seen or haven't seen from a team like Bermuda.
TTzito, no seu teclado do celular ou do PC, tem vários corações de várias cores. Aleatoriamente, aleatório. Manda um coração de uma cor aí.
Só pra gente ver o negócio.
Aleatório, tipo assim, o primeiro que você vê, você manda.
Probably continue on, but for GOW, Demon has been revived, and Bermuda United will be backing away, just heading into the edge of the circle.
Yes, bit of bombardment. Jojo, nowhere to go this time. BTR cashes in on their first.
Só pra gente ver do que seu coração tá cheio hoje.
Hasn't really found any avenues this entire game. BRU fighting Kwang Ang right out in the open, so they get themselves a free point and a couple of vehicles to work with. So that's gonna speed up their rotation on Purgatory. A pretty big map. These vehicles will
Ele fazendo suspense, a VG, meu Deus.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if this is something that they can work
Ele veio, mandou a bomba e meteu o pé.
They have to travel probably across a river if in case it is not part of the next phase of a circle, because it's closing into the second. No elimination just yet in terms of team, but a lot has been done already. And who's topping the board? It's Expand, GOW, and Onyx. So let's see if this continues on, and let's see if this will bring Malaysia or this game to the uncles if in case Expand continues this front.
Still some chances. Like, I'm fairly surprised that, you know, we said today has been going quite fast because the teams, they you know, were all up in arms. I would expect that with the increased duration of average duration of the rounds, the teams would, you know, take that opportunity. But I guess this grouping is a lot more aggressive, right, with the absence of BRU in majority of these late game rounds, barring round 3. Here comes Aimgod, 1v1, Riptide Rhythm, breaks the glue wall, he still wins! What was that swing from Aimgod?
Oh, that is a huge 180, if not a 360, and he stopped there for a moment, but that caught one off guard from that engagement up close. Team Vamos right now is going in for an engagement against Isakasari with Jaya, and 180 didn't work for Lozi on that Trogon, but managed to be blocked with this glue wall. June and G'day has a good chance to go in for a surprise push or hit, but Lozi has been taken out. Max 7 in hands of Obey.
Very well done from Masaka Sri Vijaya. They isolate Lozi, knowing that his backup is underneath the buildings. Now Axel from afar, he takes out Gardu, and G'day takes out Guns to Axel, being able to do his job given the space by his team. It is paying off big time. Vamos turning the state of the fight around, and now they have the man advantage. Joel, next on the list, didn't really have much time to recover, and now has to be left to fend for himself. Obey in the building, cannot provide any sort of help.
But Joel on the VSK was able to take down the Axel from afar, so they've lost 2 already. June with that jump shot, and Obey will be obeying the master at this point. Joel will be launching away from this fight and into the hands of a different team.
Sempre troca de, não que seja início da queda, mas ele sempre troca de início.
June to bring them to 3, but it's not over for Team Vamos, though they lost 2 already. They have to get away, otherwise Bigatron Esports might caught them off guard.
The great escape for Visaka Sri Vijaya. The dream, never mind. Didn't get far. Onyx Olympus ruined that one. Good attempt though. Like, they flew towards mainland, but sadly, Onyx Olympus was laying in wait. BTR now who have to face up against Onyx Olympus. Then they caught June in fact in the building. Now Onyx Olympus on the other side. You hear the faint roar of an engine, so someone has a vehicle. And Vamos gets a huge revive.
Yeah, I mean, 3 revive that happened. G'day will be launching away. I know I'm looking way too far in the horizon, but that is quite amazing for Team Vamos at this point. Onyx Olympus and BTR, Bigatron Esports, only a river away, and they might be able to take each other down, but that brings them to a halt. No one will be willing to get across, especially with a lot of teams surrounding them. So all they have to do is wait right now and probably hit them through that compound across the river. But June, a little bit too cheeky at this point, heading into that drop where Bigatron is already occupying this area. So hopefully that SVD is worth it. He also have a P90 in his hand, and an RFGL is burning him a little bit.
See if he can survive long enough out in the open. My guess is no, because with the state of the circle, there is going to be a team that comes from behind at one point. We did see BRU on the same land, same piece of land with Onyx Olympus, but the most tension comes from between Onyx and BTR. On the other hand, WAG against Core Memory is going to kick off again. Core Memory having a great wall to work with, so they hide behind it for now.
Yeah, I mean, good position for them, close to the next phase of the circle, and probably good chance to beat anyone who will be rocking through crossing that line. But WAG right now has head in right and might have seen Expand taking this Salt Bunker, and they are now in the crosshairs by this team as well. Riptide Rhythm on them, didn't really give that opening because of the haystack, but the rush is still going on. Not quite sure if this is something WAG will be able to engage in, because a lot of crosshairs will be on them when they get out.
It is a very dangerous rush. I don't think they know that Team Flash is on top of the hill. They just got a knockdown onto Expand, and then with the blue walls going down, now Expand have to pick and choose their poison. It's either you take the fight straight to WAG and end it swiftly, or you fall back and face the wrath of Team Flash. Either way, it's a lose-lose situation for the Malaysian squads right now. They choose to retreat, and the last time they did that, they ended up losing the entire team. So let's see if that mindset is going to change, if they are going to alter their approach to face off against WAG. They make it out of the bunker, and they're still surviving.
But the thing is, WAG is taking this bunker, and this is their advantage now. The way that they push Expand out of the Salt Bunker is quite pristine, that they can give Core Memory that opening. But no, they're chasing for Core Memory as well. X4 has been taken now, though,
fala
by
dele.
Walls, and WAG.
E foi, mano, o lag tá muito mal hoje.
Não, o lag tá mal demais, velho. 7 abates da Core Memory.
As well. Now, who survived though, and who will survive after this encounter? And Core Memory is really hungry for points.
Mano, se a Core mesmo não ganhar da XP, pode acabar o time.
But Ray from Evil's Divine denies it. Gets the knockdown, jump, cashes in the point, and now Expand are down one man. Will Evil's Divine stick their head any deeper into this honeypot? As Toda gets eliminated. 6-point Cougar getting caught from the side of Big, holding on, and Trian finds one. GOW getting wiped out off screen, 2 down to just 16. TRM
Tava
takes
com
1
seringa
point
pro
of
cara.
Expand. 11 points, the best round for Core Memory so far.
Yeah, definitely a best round indeed. They managed to take 2 away from Evo's Divine. 1 has been picked up, and they are still
O cara ainda foi na loja salvar o cara.
Mas viu outro time chegando.
Engagement coming from Aim God, and there goes a hit. M5
O cara da Core Memory vai cair caindo ali, ó. Já até caiu, ó. Não, tá lá. Por causa da água.
Because some teams are stealing all those eliminations.
They will try to get a couple more on their way into the final zone. Vamos! Last time we saw them, there were 11 teams around, but they have survived a big chunk of that sequence. Now in top 6. If anything, placement points is going to start working. It's going to start benefiting Vamos. 3 glue wall melters going to expose the position. Not really sure if that's what they want, because now Evos are going to turn their sights on them. Rastia getting a couple of wall bangs, takes down June. And those blue walls aren't going to hold on for long. Rastia cleans them up.
Ele nunca sai no zero. Raja.
Yeah, and Faiz for the finishing touch. I love how Rasha is just switching it with that BSK as well as that M82B to put more damage. And I guess it's working. It's working for them. Now we have the top 4 for this map. Evo's Divine has lost 1 of the players, and Burem United have 5 already. This is, for today, a rare occurrence that we've seen Burem United in the final 4, and they are now bringing all they have to get this booyah. Now let's see if they'll be able to bring that or take that away from the other teams. Aim God as well as Ray has been taken out, and you know how it is. If Moshi has their eyes on you, you will not survive.
This is not Thailand against Indonesia. This is BRU against Indonesia. In the top 4, we got EVOS, we got Onyx, BTR, EVOS down in the last legs. So we can count them out. EVOS out in 4th place. Now, I gotta work through the ranks. It's Onyx Olympus who flew in from the other side, eliminating the disadvantage in terms of the terrain. They make it underneath. They did lose wings though. Fire is ruining the party for Onyx Olympus. It might just come down to BRU against BTR. Jonah making this rotation. Does BRU see this? If they don't, it's gonna be disastrous, but they do spot it out. Switching place with BRU, BTR now having to deal with Zairu. What a rush from
falou que o emulador
He
era
was
mais
not
importante que o
expecting that.
mobile,
BTR finds space.
Literalmente
they
ninguém
find
nunca
space
falou isso.
and only one remaining for Onyx Olympus to take down. But for Bermuda United, good rotation they have done to take the place of BTR and then flank them on the right. Because of the distraction coming from Onyx Olympus, they weren't able to really catch off how Bermuda United is running, but the glue walls will melted right now, plus a Riptide Rhythm, and they will need to get cover. But I don't think that will be helping them that much because the 1-3 split that is being done by Bermuda United is putting so much pressure on BTR.
Yeah, BRU got a good pick up onto BTR, but the grenade launcher and the
mais uma vez
is going
chegando
to
de
change
game
the
e
state
perdendo
of this
o
final circle. Now BTR are in
Mano, essa
control.
movimentação dos caras não foi boa não, AVG. Logo a
that
Burira.
BTR has worked for up to this point. But the focus is between BRU and BTR.
Tu entende, né,
Adam
pai?
is not going to show himself, but he does have the shotgun in his
Ah, mano, a
hands.
gente vê tanto Free
And the
Fire
backs
que
they are facing him are the
eles
backs
se,
of BTR.
eles se
Koja takes out
expuseram
Wasana. There's one more member of BRU left is Mochi.
rápido demais
The
antes da
sniper
safe.
ain't gonna stand this time. And finally, Adam
Isso,
shows
dava pra eles
himself.
segurarem
But it's
muito
against
tempo
the
ali no,
entire squad of BTR. He needs a miracle
numa
of a
situação mais
clutch,
confortável
but
sem ter que se
sometimes
expor no
even a miracle isn't enough.
abertaço, não
Adam
tem
finds
nenhuma
one,
estrutura
but
aí,
can
pô.
he get more? BTR mows him down and denies any sort of an outplay. Bigatron finds Booyah.
Bigatron Delta.
Bigatron, it is a different team, but coming from the same region, Indonesia is really rocking it today. Sorry, Brim fans and Thailand fans. I don't think we will be seeing Misa that soon, and that is a denial overall for all of you. But again, BTR, they've worked their way all throughout. Second place in the first match, only getting 5 points or 10 points on the second, and then they moved up slowly but surely until this moment. They grab a 14 elimination plus the Booyah. That is a lot to scream about for the scene.
4 out of 5 Booyahs have gone to Indonesia. Conchita Caroline getting work done today. It's working overtime.
OT.
Going OT for
Em
sure.
qual país acontece presencial? Fase de grupos, cada time está no seu próprio país. São 4 estúdios. E aí a final vai ser em um lugar específico.
Thailand winning any Booyah. But this is another situation. BRU, they got the lead, but BTR with explosive with the utilities, they caught BRU off guard, and just like that, they pushed in for the win. It was unfortunate because I think BRU had a good thing going for them, but they just were not expecting the RGS and Trogons to end up being their demise. Booyah for Bigatron Esports, the first for them today, but the 4th for the region.
Yeah, that's one thing though. I mean, I love how to position themselves. BTR really showed up mirroring what Bermuda United often do. Sniper will be taking information, and then that Riptide Rhythm as well as the Glue Wall Melters has taken or broken down the defenses of Bermuda United. Thus, a sweep is bound to happen, leaving Moshi behind for that final engagement for BRU. But for Adam though, props to him, surviving into the edge until the blue has closed in, and he survived in second. So
eu
ia falar isso.
Vou fazer vídeo aqui ao vivo, tropa, com vocês.
Work from Indonesia overall. Like what I said, it's a different region, or it's a different team, but the same region overall.
Novinha que senta.
Gave them that that moment earlier when we were talking about the rise of Indonesia.
Yeah, and I think, you know, overall, Indonesia, if there's
Fala, minha rapaziada, passando aqui para convidar vocês para esse mega evento que irá acontecer do dia 16 até o dia 18 de maio, em Brasília, a BGF. Lá, além da grande final presencial da NFA, iremos transmitir também a Free Fire WS. Então, porra, garanta já o seu ingresso no site, que é gratuito, mas limitado, hein? Então vai lá, não perca nada. Vamos esperar vocês para bater aquela resenha, trocar aquela ideia, bater aquela foto com a tropa do Fora da CI, que vai estar em peso presente. Tamo junto, é nóis. Cara de primeiro, pai é pica, né? Fala! Caralho, pai é muito bravo, viado! Que isso?
Lebih ekstra nih berusaha hari ini, dari tadi udah kita tungguin hampir dapetin Buya pertama di pekan ini pada game kelima.
Pai, diferente, né? Loucura.
Só demorou 3 semanas, mas quando foi, né, pai?
Yang awalnya mungkin dibangun dari game pertama dan peaknya di game kelima tadi ya. Oke, so they feel like they just.
Mas eu não gostei do ângulo não, vou gravar de novo depois.
Vou mudar o ângulo.
But apparently
Meter o
it
aquele.
has to wait a little longer, and there you have it. The fifth game is a Buya for Bigatron Delta. Finally, kalau ngelihat dari bagaimana game tadi berlangsung gitu kan, Onyx kesisa satu pemain di belakang. Itu memang intentional, disengaja biar Indonesia finish di #2 atau karena fokus kalian emang ya pertama ke tim yang terdekat dulu. We saw that you and your teammates left one player behind for Onyx Esports. Was that intentional? Did you do that to help another Indonesian team to get a better hashtag, or was it just something that you didn't really focus on and instead just going for the closest team?
Enggak, kita soalnya fokus yang kita dekat dulu, soalnya satu squad full kan. Kalau sendiri kita biarin aja.
Oh, jadi memang fokusnya yang terdekat aja, bukan karena mau saling ngebantu nih. Siapa tahu gitu kan brotherhood, enggak ya ternyata. So apparently they were just focusing on the closest team and did not think that leaving Onyx behind was intentional. So they weren't trying to help another Indonesian team because a game is still a game, a win is still a win, and this is a competition after all. Pertanyaan terakhir nih, setelah akhirnya memecahkan Buya di game kelima, yakin nggak bisa secure Buya lagi di game ke-6? After finally getting your Buya at game 5, do you think you will be able to secure another one or the last one?
Yakin, kita bakal usaha buat Buya satu lagi.
Oh, bakal usaha semaksimal mungkin, janji ya?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's pretty sure that he can secure another Buya, and that is on the last match, the 6th match of the day. He promised me that, so yeah, let's just see how the game turned out. That is it from us. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Faiz. Congratulations once again. Kita akan balik lagi ke para caster, kira-kira seperti apa analisanya. Take it away, casters.
Thank you very much, Faiz, as well as Conchita, Caroline, and I love the questioning overall. I mean, at some point, it is true that they're just dealing with the team that's closest to them, and even Adam was not spotted. So props again to Adam to be able to hide away, to steal that second place away from Bermuda United, but still the effort has been done entirely by BTR because of how they managed to throw off guard Bermuda United in that final battle. But as we look in some of the highlights right now, the Civil War, especially from that Todak and Expand battle, before it went in for elimination, doesn't really help Malaysia. So I think they need to find a different rotation just to make sure that they will not be caught off guard by the same region. I know it's difficult because you really don't know who you're going against.
Yeah, like sometimes when a team is like on fire, when they really have gained the momentum, it's hard to stop them, right? Like for like BTR, EVOS, these two teams really have gotten it going for them. I mean, GOW again, part of the conversation. 5 MKS MVP for this game. 7 eliminations with the Skylar, 5.2k damage and 7 knockdowns. Of course, he was the first one to get knocked down by BRU, but they were not able to finish him off. And when he got picked up, he paced it back forward.
Yeah, I mean, and as a sniper, I know he is wearing that RGS as well, and won't be surprised because of the damage, the AoE damage that the RGS can bring in as a sniper. In addition to the Skylar's Riptide Rhythm, it will bring so much into Battlefield. Thus, the 5,000 in that total damage. Now, as we look at the rest of the team, Tatsuya, Koda, Cassie for the active skill. For Koja, that Alvaro, Joseph, and Kairos, as well as a double Kairos, to be exact. For Kyung as well, it just brings more of that that defense breaker into the mix, building up that energy points, and they are converting it, plus the support coming from Dix. But in terms of elimination, Vi's really top it off with 7, followed by Kyung with 3. That's 10 already, 14 overall.
Yeah, given the 26 big points off of this round, and Indonesia really is on top, right? I saw one of the chatters like, this is Indonesia. Yeah, ini Indonesia. Today is their day. Like, they are really tearing up a storm. Key players, Vi's MKS, highest limbs, most damage dealt. But of course, Jonah also received some flowers, right? 2 eliminations by grenade.
Yeah, I mean, that has been most of the highlight coming from Jonah, whether it's M79, whether it's grenade, he just knows how to cook them. But it does show up in terms of how the follow-up is, and for the rest of the team, and that is just what's missing right now for Bermuda United. But individually, they are making their way. You did mention one player is an entire team overall. Even for before they went into rotation against BTR,
pra marcar quem
they are
mesmo,
not
Renago?
focusing in one area. They have split their focus and like make way to survive all those carnage and try to rotate. But it didn't work out for them that much, even in terms of points. Only 6 in elimination, bringing them into the 4.
Brasília Game Fest.
Really rocket off, and then followed by
Liga.NFA e o link.
Olympus, who we thought didn't get so much
tem que botar
elimination,
link também.
but they are second place
Ah,
by
é bom.
elimination. And you did mention core memory.
O Will não botou
is
link
doing
não,
well.
mano.
This is one of the best game for top core memory for the day, if not for the 3
Hein,
weeks.
Renago?
Yeah. Look at this, right? BRU somehow.
E aí tu não vai colocar também?
Não, porque senão cabe com o engajamento link, mano.
Finish top 3. Evo still lagging behind, but again, the race is pretty close. Evo 6 more points before the tie with BRU. If BRU can keep this up in the final round, then they get to keep their spot at least by the end.
Vai acabar com o meu engajamento.
If not, then I think we can see Evos really overtake BRU unless they drop out too soon, which I don't see happening.
Coloca então,
I mean, they're
Não, agora eu vou botar.
silent in the beginning and then slowly getting all those points. But again, it's still BRU who managed
Chega
to
sexta-feira,
beat them
tropa.
with 2 points. They
O
were
AVG
4
liga
points
a
behind
turbina da
earlier, but
reclamação.
now they're 6
Ai,
points
que não sei
behind.
o
But
quê.
again,
Pô,
performance
mano, o
overall
engajamento
is
logo na
not
sexta-feira, você quer acabar com o meu engajamento, mano.
Então não coloca, mano. Ah, o que eu recebi é arroba e link. Se você não vai colocar,
Coloquei, mano, coloquei.
Vulcan engine and improved ray tracing technology that delivers outstanding performance along with a smooth
Mano, vai acabar meio-dia hoje, mano. Covardia.
So if you are looking for
E olha que
a
foi uma
gaming
queda
phone,
só.
I would say
Infinitamente
a daily
atrasado,
phone,
mano.
why not grab a Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra? Because we talked about this earlier. It is an all-rounded mobile phone in your hand.
Absolutely. If you so happen to get this phone, or you already have this phone and it's breakup season, and then your partner leaves you and you want to crop them out of some good pictures, use that AI technology. They are out of your scenery pic, right? You go traveling, you don't need them to be a part of that memory. It's yours and yours alone. As now we spin the wheel and see which map we go to. Statistically, we've been to Alpine a lot, we've been to Kalahari, we've been to, was it Nextera? Yeah, I want to see if you go to, I want to Purgatory. You know what? Send us to Purgatory one more time.
Yeah. Let's see if that is the case. Would it be a
Sorteio.
back-to-back? That is the biggest question. And
Sorteio.
it is so far out of this competition. This is the first Purgatory for game number 6. I did mention most of it Alpine and Bermuda. I think it was last week that it happened in Kalahari, but Purgatory back-to-back. Will this be another rise of
A
Indonesia?
qualquer momento, hein?
Hopefully someone else takes over.
I think for a lot of people, if they want someone to take over, may it be a Thai team, right? And there's only one out of the two. You see this core memory pops off this round, or BRU finally locks in a win, and they have a good chance still, right? They are top 1 on Purgatory, followed by Team Flash, and then obviously Team Falcons in 3rd place, but they're not playing today.
Yeah, not playing today. And, well, let's see. I mean, I love to see more of this team. Again, we mentioned about BTR topping the board from the previous match, but they're far from topping it for this map. So GOW will be in the mix, and then Evo's Divine after that. So let's see. Let's see. Bermuda United, this might be a chance for them to grab Booyah because they are #1, but no Booyahs yet.
Yeah, no Booyahs yet, and that's the thing, right? Like, they have had decent rounds, but again, it's all about crossing that finishing line, right? We've seen plenty of teams, they get off to a good start, but it just could not close it out.
Começa!
For any teams who want a Booyah. We're gonna fly into Purgatory one last time.
Opa!
If the teams
One last time. Começou a musiquinha, avião na tela, purgatório pra todo mundo. Comemora, chat. Porra!
Booyah, because back to Purgatory we go, and hopefully those who have been caught off guard with their pants down in the hot drop will be switching it around. No more pride, no more ego, just throw that away, throw it in all the rivers in Purgatory because it's not working for you. It might have in a few instances of eliminating 1 or 2, but survivability, you need that overall. That is the name of the game for Battle Royale.
Yeah, I think, you know, for the teams that, I wonder if they'll change the drop spot. It seems like, I wonder if the Ski Lodge players would change. And before any, you know, shooting happens, there's this one dude who thinks that I'm Indonesian because I spoke some Indo. Ayuk, gua bukan Indonesia, bukan Indonesian, gua Malaysian. Tapi gua bisa bahasa, berbicara Indonesia sikit-sikit. It means I know how to speak Indonesian. Yeah, just to translate.
It's quite similar though. I mean, going back to the link.
Yeah, a bit of similarities between, you know, bahasa.
Yeah. Hey, well, let's see. Let's see if again. Thank you very much for conversing with us. But so far, in terms of conversion and like a reply from BTR, there's not so much being done by Core Memory at this point. And 1 or 2 elimination already went in. Another Todak and Expand engagement happening, and another question that they need to answer: Why? Why are you doing this to the uncle?
Mano, essa ESP é o pior time do planeta. Esse time aí dá pra comparar.
Esse dá.
Com o Savex.
É a Savex da CIA.
In Mandarin,
Meu amigo.
Expand GG.
The old don't go, the new don't come. It's a very rough.
E vai, minha Evos, né?
Yeah.
Passou da janelinha, toma.
I'm
Ixi, tá trocando com 2 times. 2 times ruins, mas tá contra do... Ah, já foi. Ai, é o rei, né, vida?
Anymore for Expand, and it's not even Todak who finished them off. It was Evos. Now, Todak is the ones in trouble right now because the same area, same teams, and Evos is just waiting for this. They were waiting a little bit longer from earlier, but after hearing this engagement, they know that damage has been dealt and they want to take advantage. So 2 players from Todak. I think Jojo is the next one to go down.
And Evos, shot from Imgod. Didn't get anything yet, but there's another victim on the other side of the wall. Again, trap in Ski Lodge. Once they find you, there's no going out. So Evos finds the 3rd point.
Yeah, 3rd point indeed. Jojo is still knocked down, bleeding out, so it means Todak is still alive and kicking. And let's see if that would be the case for long. But Evo's Divine, 4 eliminations already.
Cheguei sexta-feira, é dia de searia.
Points earlier from the
Pego o barbeado e começa a raspar. Deixa eu ver. Deixa eu ver se tá lisinha. Deixa eu ver. Deixa eu ver se tá lisinha. Deixa eu ver se tá lisinha. Deixa eu ver pra raspar.
Take that #1 spot against Bermuda United.
Ele mesmo.
Got the vehicle to rotate.
Renago tá raspadinha, Renago tá raspa.
Renago deixa o bigode igual do Fak. Tá maluco que eu vou tirar minha barba. Mano, se alguém fizer, papo reto, se alguém fizer um pique GG de 500 conto. Fala assim, mano, tira a barba, vai pra Brasília só de bigode. Aí eu compro.
And process of elimination eliminated as well. So Traps is out, Vi is still alive, and well, there's little to no way that he can get out. So earlier it was Evos, and now it is BTR. I guess they are just trading in terms of who is taking out who. But Young right now a little too aggressive, but missed that opportunity, or probably just
Tá
went
vivendo
for that
embaixo de uma
distraction.
rocha, Lipex.
BTR is not
A gente
out
vai pra
woods
Brasília
just yet.
semana
We
que
still
vem,
have
BGF.
FFWS
Final da NFA, Liga NFA presencial.
for another booyah.
Vamos estar aí. Presencialmente no evento da BGF. Aí já quer muito. Eu não, exatamente, eu não quero tirar minha barba. Oxi. Quinhentão no Pix, aí a gente conversa. Se eu tivesse conta agora, me casaria. Aí, pronto. Melhor casar do que pagar pra um marmanjo tirar a barba.
I was just about to say
Por
if
isso que
they
eu não
will
quero
be
tirar a
able to spot
barba.
Onyx Olympus, but I think Winx has a different story overall, especially with that level 3 already on his hand, and he's just that cheeky because he knows he have the firepower, but
Pegando meu ingresso agora, ainda Lipex.
into an elimination is quite different. So let's see if this is something that they can do, because they've rattled the Hornet's nest or Flash's nest at this point.
And there goes the UAV deployed. Onyx spitting up a 2-2 formation, right? You got two main bodies here to make contact and intercept Team Flash. And we got someone at the Fire Brigade, literally on the southern end to provide that long range. It seems like Huang Am also having the same thought. So it's a 3-1 split for both sides. Both having the same ideas.
Yeah, I mean, it's standard, I would say. The 3-1 split is working, whether it's a 3-1 or 1-3. But for Onyx Olympus, 2-2, and Cyru Rosa in hand brings death to death, and Cyru will be going down as well. But quick revival has been done onto death. It's not yet over for Team Flash, but I think this is time for them to back away. But no, who's flying in? It's Wang Am taking the lead on the other side, but no! Through the glue wall! M82B!
Through the glue wall!
There you have
Fala,
it, a takedown
Sidney.
by Winx.
That is gonna open up
Caruza Santino.
avenues to go for more.
E
Here
a única
comes
que já deu
Adam,
buia
missing
hoje.
first, second shot, ABCD. Well, he gets the trade back. That's pretty unfortunate for Onyx Olympus. That is their fight to lose. Cyru also loses out ABCD with a 2-man knockdown. And Onyx, they still want to fight.
Yeah, they still want to fight, and surprisingly, Team Flash is not backing away despite of all damage dealt onto them. AoE, M79, but I think Winx will be able to help this out up close and personal. AWM, but it's risky at this point. Despite of how accurate you are, you still need that distance. But here comes the rest of Onyx Olympus. ABCD was forced to rotate, and Adam right now not stepping in just yet. Winx might be able to provide that cover.
For Team Flash, so they were able to really weather the storm, which is step number one, right? Again, I feel like Onyx Olympus, they had every single chance to make a clean wipe, but now the Team Flash have gotten time, even block up the entrance. I'm not really sure if Prime KS wants to even attempt to break right through. Might as well start considering what's the next move, because look at Team Flash, they've spread out. So if Onyx Olympus aren't aware of this, they might be in danger.
Yeah, I mean, they're caught off guard in a pinch, and they are not expecting
Podia
this.
estar
But
muito melhor, tá meio bananada.
they must go for
entregou
takedown
dois
with
buias.
that Trogon, and still on a good way to find another. But again, because of that split up, because of that drop, it's not over just yet. The
VG
Zone managed to take down one more from
Segui
Onyx
seu
Olympus. So
alu.
Adam and
Levei a mina
Winx
pra
might
sair,
be
ela tá
shaking
toda
their
feliz, irmão.
boots
Pô,
right
Bala.
now because the
Se
rest
você seguir
of
meu
Team
conselho, você vai
Flash
virar o rei
is rushing
delas.
in.
Se você quiser ser homem de uma mulher só, você vai ser o rei dela. Não tem jeito. Pai, que os melhores conselhos.
Missing all their shots. You cannot let that happen if you're Onyx. This fatal mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they got too comfortable with the snipes. Wherein you should have at least a Trogon or M590 up close instead of an AC8 or AWM up close. And that's what it did. Because of that, missing all those shots, it bought time for Team Flash to be able to flank them from both sides. And it's just a waiting game. But let's see of how long they can wait, because Todak is behind him. It's good enough for Team Flash, but they were not gunned down. They do have one vehicle, or make that two vehicle, to be able to rotate. But bigger rotation core memory is trying to rotate past Buriram United, and WAG is just running through them. So I don't think BRU will be gunning them down. Probably a little bit of distraction though, just to push them or make sure that they don't rush.
Let's see BRU now against WAG. It's gonna be a slow burn, right? So far, no third party yet. Wasana in the front when they blew off just to delay the push from the side of BRU. WAG falling back very well, not forcing any contact with Wasana. Good discipline from the Vietnamese. Here comes Red Tyrida. Wasana with the Rebel Rush just to back off as WAG pushing envelope. Moshi is going to relocate from behind. This could be a great chance for them to break apart the formation of WAG. Allen, Rebel Rush, gets close to Moshi but has no idea just yet. Wasana with the interception. What a dance between these two teams.
Definitely a dance, a tango, and they're just going back and forth, still maintaining the difference. They're still maintaining the line between them. Get high, almost damaged. Cassie still connected to Wasana, and Wasana was able to go for that shutdown, but Jonah will be taken down as well. So everyone backs away, but with all that noise,
Desiste de
WAG
tentar
will be
jogar.
introduced to Visaka Sriwijaya, a new target for them, and it is Allen who goes down.
O chupetinha pro mobile é uma mãe, mano. Ninguém acerta tiro direito. Toma.
Oh no, they did not know! Visaka Sriwijaya was right behind them!
Oh my god!
Oh, shot down from the skies!
Caralho, o cara é a maior boca de tombo do planeta.
O Murilo!
O cara é uma boca de tombo do planeta, tadinho na gol. Isso daí merece ser clipado. Alô, Gareda. Alô, Gareda. Pode clipar.
Que
Pode
isso, mano? Que isso? Mano, a ver...
There's no better way to put it.
Que pichotado.
Mas não é o que eu falei? É mais difícil no mobile. No emulador,
eu
ok.
Como é difícil.
Oh man, you fans. I hope you guys sleep well tonight.
Boca de tombo esse jogador.
Perdão aí todos os torcedores da Buriram. Essa foi instantânea.
Tá andando muito com o
Essa zica foi instantânea, mano.
This to happen to Buriram United. Well, I guess the other matches
Aí é foda.
Buriram United, but that was just Visaka Sriwijaya, like dominance in accuracy. No one will be like. I couldn't see anyone who can manage to do so, but the angle that they took, that Buriram United took, is just aligned to where Visaka Sriwijaya does. They were able to just adjust a little bit and gun them down. But let's see, it is another hope for Thailand for core memory against Todak, but both teams are feeling the heat.
And so far, Todak is on the losing end of things. Jojo's and Trapco going down. But they are striking back. They punch back hard. And they lose no one in the process. Well, Jojo bled out. But great fight from Todak.
Yeah, I mean, definitely they will need all this motivation. Especially, I think from the previous match, they have a lot more. Or the one before that. In Nextera. So they had a lot more and they are hungry for it. For WAG right now, Gririn will be stuck. Monster Truck will not work, but X4 from afar! That was just a distraction! It is a trap! Noki's the only one remaining! Another launch pad, and his will just be jumping in, aligned with the other team, and he
Mano do céu.
Down, and that's from the hands of Vamos.
Yeah, and I think...
Eu fui rever na live, mano. Que isso, velho.
Vai, Renago, crava o bui dessa queda de quem
não
quer.
Não vou, não, ninguém não, mano.
Não, tem que cravar, Renago.
Não, mano. Calma então.
At least GOW has a
Abriu o mapa, você crava.
All those blue walls go down. EVOS bare naked in the open, but it
Depois
was
dessa
still
troca,
finds a
então,
shot
pronto,
onto
pra não
Faiz.
ficar...
The sniper has gone down. All of them forced to close range combat. Time turner gets dropped, but Evos just mows right to
4-0? 4-0 da minha Evos?
Great usage
Não.
of utility. Kojou gets traded back.
Finaliza
Needs to really
não.
put in the work, but Kojou gets lost in the process, and now D's gonna get surrounded by 2 players of Evos. The
Vai, Renan, gol agora. Crava o boi, crava o boi.
Gol.
No more. Evos Divine survives.
E você? Travou?
Eu vou de Evos.
Tu tá tentando zicar meu Deixa, né, mano?
Evos Divine. Bigatron Esports, though, a little tough on them because they were really putting so much of effort to survive as well as put in damage, but for this instance, GOW wants it even more. They want that second Booyah as well, and they take down the Sakasari Vijaya. But unfortunate for them, they're missing one player. It is only Team Vamos who is a full squad right now.
Segura os homens, Team Vamos.
In a clear view of Evos Divine, but they are defending themselves
Nem com
quite
4
well,
eles dão
even with
Booyah.
that shot from the glue wall. So let's see if they can rotate and probably escape from that, as Evos Divine is now distracted by GOW.
Let's see, Vamos all hiding behind a rock, a boulder. Evos knows that. Top 3 teams, Vamos, Evos, and GOW. Again, no Thai teams today. We won't see Miss Misa. Oh boy, the tragedy, what to do? It is the state of week 3. Let's see, GOW, they're gonna be the one that makes the first move.
Yeah, GOW rushing into Evos Divine, and the only question is who will go down. But one thing's for sure, Team Vamos might be taking advantage of them because of all the confusion and all the blue walls resources being waited. But Ray right now tries to save and rescue them with precision, but outside of the blue, and Team Vamos right now just steamrolling everyone. This will
Boi da Malásia.
Boi da Malásia aqui, mano. Pra fechar o dia. E ver se os caras não faziam merda mesmo.
Finally, Vamos steps up at the very end.
Mas, ó, Tailândia, eu defendo meu mano ABG. Os caras fazem bem menos merda.
Have finally gotten a Booyah.
Não, mas ali eu falei de endgame.
Well deserved.
Endgame os caras se comportam muito melhor que os brasileiros. Mas é isso. Bora que bora, Renagol. Vai botar o bagulho 24 horas lá?
Não. Mantém aí, deixa a tabela. Fecha no YouTube, galera que quer ver a tabela full louco. E deixa a live aí e vamos que vamos.
Vai, tropa, geral pra louco, tamo junto.